Texas, where everything's big. It's a big day for the NASCAR Nationwide Series with a couple of lone stars set to shine. A bright, brave young star of the sport stands ready to claim his first NASCAR championship. A first championship in this side of the sport for one of the most decorated owners in the sport. One of the sport's biggest stars can claim an all-time series record. He goes for a 6th straight win at this track. It all happens on a big, fast, tricky track where trouble's never far away. Two big stars, one big race. The Nationwide Series at Texas, next.
10, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ignition.
ESPN welcomes you to NASCAR Countdown for what's likely to be Championship Saturday in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. The likely clinch coming after 300 fast and furious miles at the Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth, Texas. Let's start with the fast part. Qualifying was held last evening, 5:30 local time. There were a lot of the usual suspects at the head of the pack. Carl Edwards qualified third in his Ford, while Kevin Harvick, a 4-time Texas winner, put his Chevy in second spot. Both were upstaged. It was 20-year-old James Buescher who turned a lap of over 189 miles an hour, the fastest qualifying lap of the year to score the pole position. It's the second pole of his career, huge for him. He's a native of Plano, Texas, just a half an hour from this racetrack. A look at the first 5 rows of the grid shows Buescher surrounded by drivers who've won the last 6 series championships. Then you get to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. continuing his strong second half run, qualifying in 7th, and Steve Wallace, who has qualified in the 9th position. It is a star-loaded field at the front of the grid with a couple of youngsters looking to get some attention for themselves as we go racing here in Texas. Let's hear from our pole winner for today's race. He's with Dr. Jerry Punch.
What a special homecoming for James Buescher, winning the pole at the home racetrack. Now, James, you're making only your 22nd career start with a team that doesn't have a lot of experience. Some of the truck guys coming over today to help you on pit road. So realistically, what kind of expectations do you have?
You know, our Wolfpack Energy Services Chevy was fast yesterday in practice and in qualifying. So, you know, Michael Shelton's done a great job with my truck program this year, and a couple of the other guys on our team came over and helped out this weekend as well. So I'm not the only one doing double duty on this team, and they've been doing a really great job, and I can't thank them enough, you know. And especially, I got to thank Nationwide Insurance for putting on such a great series and letting us be able to compete every week. You know, it's great to be able to come to my home track and win the pole, and it's my second career pole, but it's my first one with this team, and it's my home race, my sponsor's home race, and Steve Turner's home race. So it's pretty cool for myself and everybody involved in this deal.
Hey, good luck today.
Thank you.
James Buescher. Alan?
All right, Doc, thanks. Big moment for him. Everything's big in Texas, including the characters inside our ESPN pit studio, and in particular, the cowboy boots on the 7-foot-tall member of our crew. Welcome inside. Alan Bestwick, along with Rusty Wallace and Brad Daugherty. 300 miles on this Texas track. What comes to mind?
Well, first of all, this place is really tough, Alan. No doubt about that. It's tough, it's fast, and it's big. But I'll tell you what, in some spots, this place is pretty scary.
Yeah, it's really scary, especially coming off turn 2. You go into that corner after a lap, you're coming in there almost 200 miles an hour, and you go through the belly of turn 1, and all of a sudden you get to 2, and it goes away from you. It flattens out. Guys have a lot of problems there. We're going to see a lot of stuff going on in 2. You got to be able to get around through there and get back to the throttle as hard as you can. It is exciting.
Into the belly of the beast. There you go. The 2 main headline stories of the day. Kyle Busch trying to win a 6th consecutive Nationwide Series race at this track. That'd be an all-time series mark. And Brad Keselowski looking to claim the NASCAR Nationwide Series championship for himself and for the legendary team owner Roger Penske. Keselowski enters this race with a 485-point lead on second-place driver Carl Edwards. If Brad finishes this race with a lead of 390 or more over second, then it becomes mathematically impossible for Carl to overtake him in the final 2 races. If Carl earns maximum points today by leading the most laps and winning, then Brad can clinch by finishing 21st or better in this race. We'll talk to both Brad and Roger Penske in a couple of minutes. Rusty, you've been in position to clinch one of these titles before. What's today going to be like for him?
Well, he's nervous. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he wants to get this championship wrapped up today. He doesn't want to push it on the next week or something like that. He will win this thing. I mean, this car's been fantastic all year long. But, hey, this week, in fact, on Friday, he had to dodge a lot of bullets. It's not been easy for Brad. Take a look at practice right here. He's exiting turn 4 right now. The car in front of him makes a spin. Up, hits the wall. Brad's got to go bouncing through the grass, tears up the air dam. He's already negotiating problems out there, so it hasn't been easy on Brad all week long at all.
He's been dodging him and managed to get through practice fairly cleanly. Before we dig deeper into that story, a lot of breaking news this weekend surrounding the Nationwide Series has been unveiled at this track, particularly bringing into focus next year's team lineup. Friday, Turner Motorsports, the former Braun Racing, announced their 3-car lineup for next year. Justin Allgaier and Reed Sorensen to run full seasons. Jason Leffler and Casey Kane to split a car. Leffler, James Busher, and Ricky Carmichael to split another car. Kevin Harvick Incorporated confirmed Elliott Sadler will run the full Nationwide Series. City Financial to sponsor. KHI also to field a car to be split by Harvick, Clint Boyer, Paul Menard, and Austin Dillon. Take a breath. Plus their technical partnership with Richard Childress Racing. And today, Joe Gibbs Racing announced they'll field a 3rd Toyota next season for Brian Scott to run the full series. Plus, Kyle Busch and Joey Logano will run similar schedules in the 18 and 20 cars. All these announcements. Did you get all that? Your reaction to them and what it means for next season.
This is so exciting. I mean, this infusion of opportunity by all of these events happening in our Nationwide Series is outstanding. I mean, I've always looked at this series as being a standalone series, a great opportunity for guys to come, make a home, and race, and have a great professional career. And if they want to move on, it's also a great opportunity. But, hey, the Nationwide Series looks to be thriving and strong. Kudos to all of those people who are participating.
I totally agree with you 100%, Brad. I mean, there's so many young guys out there going to get a good shot next year. I mean, this Steve Turner's done a lot. Look what Roger Penske's done with his guys, giving young guys opportunities. I see the series stronger than it's ever been next year. Look, there's going to be a lot of changes. We all know that. Points, a lot of stuff. But it's going to be the best year we've ever had next year, and it's been a great year this year.
Let's talk about some of those potential changes just briefly. A lot of folks have been curious about whether NASCAR will in some way limit participation of Sprint Cup drivers in the Nationwide Series next year, and if they'll limit their eligibility to win the championship. No on the limiting their participation. What the eligibility for the championship will be is still being talked about and debated by NASCAR officials. Let's hear from one of the drivers that secured his future this week. Justin Allgaier is with Vince Welch.
Yeah, there were some questions coming into the week, but he's one of those drivers that was announced yesterday as part of the Turner Motorsports deal for next year, but some business to take care of first. How do you balance having this ride for the finish of the season while still keeping an eye on the future and what's happening for next year?
Well, I think the one thing that really plays into this whole situation is the fact that, this is obviously the old style car. Next year is going to be the new style car. So they really don't cross over. One great thing is we don't have to worry about loss of information, back and forth. We can talk all day long about the old car here at Penske Racing and obviously move on to the future for Turner Motorsports with the new style car. But I just want to say that I give Roger Penske a lot of credit and a lot of respect for bringing me on and getting me to the level that I am right now, and Verizon for coming on board. Everybody there has been a huge supporter of mine, and very appreciative of what we've had happen over the last 2 years, and really looking forward to the last 3 races of the season, and then looking forward to next year. There's a lot of opportunities I think for next year, and this is going to be the thing that I feel like will get us back into victory lane.
He's been hot lately, back-to-back top 3 finishes. Looks to even be better today, Alan.
Justin Allgaier starting in 20th position in that 12 car for today's race. Coming up next, Brad Keselowski, the man who could be champion by the end of the day. We'll find out what's on Brad's mind as he gets ready to start what could be a dream day for him. Plus, the captain, Roger Penske, will join us in the pit studio to discuss what could be his first NASCAR championship. That and much more on the Texas edition of NASCAR Countdown.
The stockyards. I want to be a cowboy so bad. Can I be a cowboy?
Everybody has a little bit different path and a little bit different way of going about getting themselves where they want to be. Brad Keselowski has done it his way.
Look out, they're going to go around. Oh, big crash. Oh, and up into the wall.
Bring it here. Bring it here.
Brad Keselowski is going to get the race win.
Keselowski on the inside. Biffle on the outside.
Brad Keselowski, back-to-back wins. This team is so strong right now.
Brad Keselowski will win for the 3rd time. He was patient when he had to be, and he pushed the pedal when he needed to.
Drag race down the backstretch now. This is going to be down to the wire.
race. He spun out. Carl gets into Keselowski. Hold on. He makes it look easy on this last stretch. Brad Keselowski winning at his home track. His 4th win of the season.
Diving to the bottom of the racetrack, Brad Keselowski will win.
Keselowski in the lead. He's going to hold off Mike Bliss.
Catching a driver's one thing, getting around him, that's another.
Heck of a run out of that team.
We're seeing this young man be really smart at trying to win this championship.
Great job, buddy. Great job. That's what you pay me to do, RP. We got it done today. You should be really proud of this one, guys. Really, really proud.
When Brad Keselowski signed with Penske Racing, he insisted on running the Nationwide Series in addition to the Sprint Cup Series to keep his confidence up and keep winning races while he adjusted to the Cup side. Pretty savvy call. While the Cup side has improved lately, those 2 top 10 finishes both coming in the last 2 weeks, the Nationwide Series has been gangbusters, and he stands on the verge of claiming the championship today. He starts 16th. Brad Keselowski is with Jamie Little.
Well, it's been a lifetime in the making, and today the culmination of all the blood, sweat, and tears of your entire life can happen here by winning your first NASCAR championship. But you have to, I know, it was very dramatic. You have to finish 21st or better, though, Brad. How do you approach today's race?
Well, nothing is guaranteed. That's the biggest thing is, 21st the worst can happen real easily, and we just got to do our part. And I think that we have a solid car. We had a solid team all year long. We haven't had a DNF. So knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen today. I think we can have a great day. So this Discount Tire Dodge team has been awesome. I've got a lot of support from the fans this week, which has meant a lot to me. So thank you, everyone. And we're ready to go get the job done.
Yesterday, you had a hiccup in practice, had a lot of front-end damage that they had to repair. Then on the Cup side, you actually went through the grass, went to a backup car. What was going through your mind? You got nerves or what?
Well, I think I'm going to send Eddie Gossage a bill for lawn service. But seriously, though, it's just, one of those deals. Just sometimes you have weekends like that. So, I was missing a wreck on the Nationwide side and, just was trying to make sure I didn't kill my car and unfortunately tore the front end up and just trying a little too hard on the Cup side. So, we'll keep working on it. The team assures me they've got the car fixed even better than it was before, so we're ready to race.
The captain, Roger Penske, your boss man, is in the pit studio right now watching this interview. Anything you want to say to him before you start this race?
No, it's kind of like one of those deals where I don't want to see him until after the race, because I know if I see him after the race, it's for good reasons.
There you have it. The number 22 driver will be the nationwide champion for the 22nd time. It's a lucky number. He hopes to get it done today. Alan?
All right, Jamie, thanks. The clinch today would be with 2 races still remaining in the season, the 12th time the title's been wrapped up before the last race of the year. Kevin Harvick clinched with 4 races to go in 2006. Keselowski would be with Jeff Green and Carl Edwards as clinching with 2 races still remaining. And if Brad clinches today, it would be the first NASCAR championship for Roger Penske, who joins us now in the pit studio. Thanks for your time. The verge of getting that first NASCAR title. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think I've got to thank the team, and obviously Brad's done a terrific job. I think his concentration, his commitment, you really see it every day at the shop, and he's a modest guy. He probably got a lot of publicity for things that maybe he didn't deserve, but on the other hand, I told him, keep going, doing what you're doing. And the consistency of finishing reminds me a lot of Rusty. He finishes races, and when you finish races, good things happen.
Roger, you guys weren't even going to run this second team. It was not even a thought at the beginning of the season of the Nationwide Series. Now here you end up with a championship opportunity that's going to happen. What's the feeling about that? Do you think back and say, what if we hadn't have done this?
Well, I think it was a team effort, really. Brad wanted to run the Nationwide, and we had the chance to hook up with Discount Tire, which was very interested in running the series. So good sponsor, good driver, and I think Brad felt more time on the track can help us build our Cup program. So I think it's worked out. I think you're starting to see him get some momentum here the last couple of races. So to me, these things come together quickly.
Yeah.
And it was part of the deal we put together with Brad that we would run, in the Nationwide. So to me, Justin's done a great job. And to have the 2 guys working together just has been outstanding for the team this year.
Roger, with Justin moving on to Turner Motorsports, do you still plan on having a 2-car Nationwide team next year?
Well, we're working on that, Rusty. As you know, it's sponsorship that we're working on. I think that a lot of people are knocking on our door to ride in that second car, and I think that we've got a team of guys, and we're trying to keep them together, and hopefully we'll have something to put together before the end of the season. So, again, this is a lot of sponsors moving around right now, so we need to look at that from the standpoint of funding the team. But, we're going to focus on Nationwide next year and also, obviously, the Cup team.
Brad said, obviously, you have not given him that pregame speech before today's race. He wants to see you after. But typically, you watch the race from the spotter's stand. Right. Any message to he and the team on the pace laps we should be listening for?
Well, I think I'm just going to thank him for a great job. Obviously, we got 3 races to go here. We shouldn't lose this championship. And I think he wants to run strong. You know, Kyle Busch is the guy we got to beat. We need to run against him. Harvick, a lot of the Cup guys are in this race this weekend. So he wants to win in good style and not just hang around 21st. I can tell you that.
Now, I got a feeling you're going to say more than that. I mean, hey, when I drove for you, you were the best at reminding everybody about the pitfalls, the things that might happen. Be careful of this and be careful of that. Will you be doing some of that with Brad today?
Well, I'll just tell him, keep your nose clean on the restarts. You know, you don't want to shove it up there too far. I think what he needs to do is stay cool all day. Good pit stops, no mistakes, because you can see track position is going to be so important at this race today and also tomorrow.
Roger, we've heard a little bit about Sam Hornish possibly coming in and driving in the Nationwide Series next year. Is that something that's going to happen?
Well, we're going to run Sam in the last race at Homestead.
Okay.
He wanted a chance to make a run at that. We think we'd give him a chance. He's been a super guy for us, and maybe we did the wrong thing. We started him right in the Cup. You know, a lot of the good drivers have come up through ARCA. They've come up through the Nationwide side. So, you know, it's an opportunity that we're going to take a look at for next year. So, again, based on where we see on sponsorship, you know, he could be an option for us.
Okay. Just to tie this whole story together, an effort you weren't initially planning on making. You brought the effort together. Now you're on the verge of winning a championship. You've won 6 races with Brad this year. Are you surprised or not surprised to be in the position you are entering this race today?
Well, I guess I'm surprised at one point, but on the other hand, the goal, you know, is to win the championship. We were going to run all the races. Obviously, Kyle has had a fantastic season with Gibbs, but 6 races. We had a couple of races we thought we won, got wrecked, as you well know. But to me, it's hard work. You know, it's team effort, the engine guys, the chassis people, and you know, Paul Wolf has been an outstanding crew chief, and he's really gelled with Brad, which makes a huge difference. They got confident in each other. And again, at the end of the day, I think it's been a great team effort from everyone, from all the guys at Penske Racing. So I'm really proud of them and just glad that I could be here today representing them.
Well, we'll listen for your voice from the spotter stand and look forward to watching your driver try to claim that championship. And thank you for your time very much.
My pleasure.
Roger Penske joining us in the pit studio. His driver, Brad Keselowski, looking to try and claim the Nationwide Series championship today. If it happens, the Nationwide Series championship would go with 13 titles for Penske Racing in open wheel competition. And that doesn't include the road racing efforts he's fielded over the years, or those 15 Indianapolis 500 trophies. Quite a list of accomplishments for Penske Racing, and another standing to be attained here today in Texas. When we continue, besides the championship, there's another spot in the record books that could be clinched today, displacing 2 of this sport's all-time greats. We talk about that when NASCAR Countdown continues. ESPN's NASCAR Countdown from deep in the heart of Texas, Fort Worth, where the NASCAR Nationwide Series is getting ready to run 300 miles at the Texas Motor Speedway, a track that's been a handful for many since it opened in 1997. This track is so fast and so treacherous, which makes the Kyle Busch accomplishments here all the more impressive. Kyle has won the last 5 straight Nationwide Series races at this track, and not just won, but dominated. April 19th, he led 153 of 200 laps, blasting through the field and shredding tires in his victory celebration. The all-time Nationwide Series record for most consecutive wins at one track is held by 2 of the sport's greats, along with Kyle, the Iron Man, Jack Ingram.
My old buddy Jack from Asheville, North Carolina, the Iron Man, baby.
5 straight at South Boston, Virginia Speedway, plus the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt, 5 straight at Daytona.
Oh, that was amazing when he did a Daytona. I mean, he wouldn't stop winning, just won everything.
Well, Kyle shares the record for most consecutive wins at one track with those 2 drivers for now. He starts his quest for a record-breaking 6th Texas win from 4th position, Doc.
Indeed he does, Alan. And Kyle, you have a chance to go where no NASCAR driver has ever gone. With a 6th consecutive win today, you could go by the guys we just showed, Dale Earnhardt Sr. and the legendary Jack Ingram on the short track. So what would that mean to you?
It means the world, you know. You just got to go out here and run your own race today, though. You know, I feel like our Z-Line Designs Camry is good, and it's been fast since we've been here for the past 3 years. But you know, we've just got to mind our P's and Q's today and do what we always do. Just go out there and race and not put too much focus or too much pressure on ourselves in order to try to go out there and get the 6 in a row. Just let it come to us and do what we know how to do.
Now, you've not just won here. You have spanked the competition, leading over 800 laps the last 5 races. The team says the cars are good, but it's our driver. Why are you so good here?
I'm not sure. Really, it hasn't come on, but lately, you know, the past couple of years, since I've gotten with Joe Gibbs Racing and the Toyota gang, and when I drove for Hendrick, you know, I was okay here, but I wrecked a lot of stuff. And then somehow I figured out how to get comfortable here. I had good race cars. Jason and the guys gave me great race cars on the Nationwide side, and Steve and Dave have given me good cars on the Cup side. And it's been a comfort thing, being able to get the comfort back built in, to be able to go out there and I mean, this place is so fast, and you could get it just a little bit too sideways and you're gone. So you just got to make sure you keep it under you.
Hey, have some fun today.
We'll do it. Thanks.
Kyle Busch. Alan?
All right, Doc, thanks. Doc mentioned Kyle spanking the competition. Check out these numbers in those 5 straight Texas wins. Kyle Busch has led 810 of the 1,000 laps of racing. Now, if I carried my ones right, that's 81% of the laps.
You take off your shoes when you ride?
And all my fingers and toes.
That's being a really good driver with a great team. This guy knows how to do it here at Texas, that's for sure.
We will see if Kyle can dominate and win again today. Dale Jarrett and Andy Petrie join in now from the broadcast booth where they're getting ready to call the race. Gentlemen, in this age of racing parity, how can one guy keep winning over and over again at one track?
Yeah, that's what they're all down there asking themselves in the garage area, too. How do we let this same guy keep beating us? But I think when a driver and a team find something, just like Kyle was talking about there, you get comfortable with it. The cars haven't changed a lot, and the racetrack hasn't changed a lot. But I will tell you one thing. Kyle talked about getting that car out on the edge a little bit too far. Well, he's mastered getting that car out there just where it needs to be to go fast. And the people at Joe Gibbs Racing tell me from their data whenever they go to a test that Kyle Busch can drive this thing hung out more than any other driver that they've ever dealt with. And I think that has a lot to do with keeping momentum with these tapered spacers on these cars.
Well, it is, and it can make that a little more technical. To be able for a driver to be able to take that right rear tire to a higher slip angle, it allows the crew chief and the team to do a lot with the race car to make it faster. So it's worth speed. The other thing about Kyle Busch, he doesn't get probably enough credit for how good he is with the race car. He really knows that race car inside and out. He may not be hands-on actually working on it, but he does make a lot of the calls on the car. He knows that car real well, and I think that's another reason he's so successful.
And Rusty, the lower horsepower engine and that momentum word reminds you of somebody who's also been great in this series.
Oh, it really does. It reminds me a lot of Mark Martin when he drove the IROC series. Those cars didn't have much power at all, but he beat the pants off of everybody all the time. He knew how to drive a momentum-based car, a car that he had to keep wound up all the time. He was running it high on the racetrack in the middle. And Kyle's just like that to me. He knows how to drive these cars, just like Dale and the guy said, got that rear end of that car hung out. He's fantastic behind the wheel, these Nationwide cars. Heck, he's fantastic at everything.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But these Nationwide cars, he's got that thing mastered, and it does remind me of Mark.
He absolutely drives the wheels off these race cars. And what Andy and Dale are talking about, the race car is out in yaw. That's what they call it when that right rear is out like that. And he can absolutely drive that car out and put it on that razor's edge. But when I talk to Clint Boyer and Carl Edwards and guys like that about keeping these cars wound up, they're trying to do the same thing. I mean, they want that same feel, but for some reason, Kyle Busch has absolutely mastered the technique and feel of winding these cars up and maintaining momentum throughout a race. It's incredible.
All right, let's go quickly around the horn, get a quick answer from all 4 of our analysts. Does Kyle win again today, or can somebody get in his way and stop him? DJ, what do you think?
Oh, there's a lot of them that are going to try. No, he's going to be in victory lane at the end of the day.
I think there's somebody that might be able to beat him, Alan.
You do, huh?
Yep.
All right, we'll get that answer from you in a little while. What do you got?
Well, Kyle's qualified 4th. We're used to seeing him sit on the pole all the time. I think if anybody's going to beat him today, it's probably going to be Kevin Harvick, maybe. I don't know if the guys in the booth agree with me or not, but it's probably going to be him.
I'm not as smart as I am good looking. I'll admit that. But when I see a guy has led 81% of the laps at a racetrack, I'm going to go with him because I think he is going to be the guy to beat again.
That's probably the best answer right there.
Sliding the chips in that direction. DJ, Andy, thank you for the input. We'll talk to you here in just a little bit for the call of the race.
Thanks.
All right, Al.
All right, next topic, Danica Patrick, who will run just her 11th Nationwide Series race, and more importantly, her 4th in a row and 5th in 6 weeks. And on the mile-and-a-half tracks across the season, the results have gotten better each time. The goal for today is just a bit higher than that Charlotte 21st, though, Dave Burns.
All right, well, this track has been described as a handful, and this, of course, being your first stock car race on this track. What's it been like for you, Danica?
I'd say it started off as really well. I'm not a handful at all. In the second practice, it was a little bit more of a handful. The car got loose. But I really think that the GoDaddy car has a lot of potential today. I don't know how it's going to go. You know, I feel like I'm continuously surprised when it comes to race time. Like, it's really good, it's a little off, it's this, it's that. So I really don't know how it's going to go, but hopefully it's good. I think that it looks like it's not super easy to pass out there, so you're going to need to find some clean air. So I think I'm going to go high and see what happens.
All right, hey, remember in June in the IndyCar here, she finished second, so got some momentum here in Texas.
All right, David, thanks. Danica says her goal for today is a top 15 finish. She says that's realistic. Agree or disagree about the realistic part?
I think the top 20 is a little bit too optimistic. I mean, top 15 is too optimistic. Top 20, I'll go with that. I think she can do that.
I was very impressed with her at Charlotte. She qualified extremely well. She ran well throughout the race. I think she can do it simply because she's been around this place, the IndyCar, run 220 miles an hour all day long, finished second. She gets inside top 15 today.
Those are two different animals. That
she gets
car
inside top
and the IndyCar.
Experience. It's experience.
All right.
She's getting a lot better, that's for sure.
We will follow Danica's efforts throughout the day as well. Coming up, why would a guy in a fight for the Sprint Cup title Sunday run a 190-mile-an-hour track Saturday? We'll ask Kevin Harvick in a minute. Plus, Clint Boyer, left of your frame, looks to bring down the curtain on a most successful era for Richard Childress Racing in the Nationwide Series. That's coming up on Countdown.
Now, if I'm going to be a cowboy, that is an ugly horse right there.
Was a chilly start to the morning here at the Texas Motor Speedway, but it's going to be a beautiful afternoon in Fort Worth as drivers go racing at this place the track promoter likes to call the Great American Speedway. It's always a big time for the fans at Texas. Driver introductions are ongoing as we get ready for today's NASCAR Nationwide Series 300-miler. We mentioned Kyle Busch in his 5-race winning streak here. The last time anyone other than Kyle won one of these races, it was Kevin Harvick who took the checkered flag. Kevin actually led the most laps in that race. Kyle actually led the most laps in that race, but Kevin led the ones that counted most, and he took home the trophy. Now, that was a few years ago. Harvick won this race 3 straight years, 2005, 6, and 7, has 4 overall Texas victories in the Nationwide Series. Kevin the dominator at this track before being shoved aside by Kyle. Can Kevin stop the streak and get back to his Texas winning ways? He starts second, Vince.
He has got a pretty good car today, again, starting up front. What's the key to getting around this place, a mile and a half, or this place in particular, I guess?
Well, I think this particular place, it's all about how you get off of the corner and how much throttle you can keep down without getting tight or loose. So it's a fine balance between keeping the car neutral and not going either direction. So we'll see how our Jimmy John Chevy, we didn't get much practice yesterday, so I don't really know what we have, to be honest with you. So it might take us a run or two to get our car adjusted. And with all the inconsistency of the sets of tires that we put on in the Cup Garage, it could be a crapshoot for us today, so we'll see.
Speaking of the Cup Garage, obviously a big day for you tomorrow in the battle for the chase and the championship. What's the risk versus reward of running this race today when you have such an important race tomorrow?
I'm a firm believer in doing the things that you've done to get to this point. So, this is the schedule that we laid out at the beginning of the year. And at the beginning of the year, you plan on racing for a championship, and we planned on racing this car. So, hopefully we can learn something today with the tires and how much the racetrack dropped off in race trim here compared to what we practiced. So it should give us a couple different reference points that we can make some decisions on our Cup car tonight.
Kevin Harvick looks for win number 5 here in Texas today. Alan?
All right, Vince, thanks. Kevin starting on the outside of the front row in that 33 car. Kevin, one of 3 drivers in that very tight fight for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship. He enters the Texas race 38 points off the lead with 3 races to go. That's tomorrow. Perhaps you could argue this would be a good weekend for Kevin to just concentrate on the Cup car. Then again, you heard his thoughts on doing what you normally do. Good or not good for him to be in this race today?
Well, I think it's good for him to be in the race. I mean, more seat time out there. Hey, he's got a good sponsor, and he likes to drive. But you know what, Brad? Oh, Happy Harvick didn't look too happy to me just then.
He's not real happy about the tires, it sounds like. But I agree with Kevin. I mean, I think it's fine. That's what he does. It's what these guys are all about. They're race car drivers. It's what they're committed to. I'd have no problem as an owner letting him go out and participate at full speed. I think it gives him some reference points, just like he says, for his car tomorrow. It makes him better for tomorrow. And there's a little bit of superstition in that as well. He thinks he's been running well doing both.
Does he race any differently today because of what's at stake tomorrow?
No, you can't do that in any sport. You can't take a step back and try to do it a little bit easier here or there. That's when you get yourself in trouble. He'll race as hard today as he will tomorrow.
He will take everything he learned today and put it in a cup race tomorrow, especially air pressure settings. Tires are on his mind for whatever reason. He must have had a bad experience with tires yesterday, and he's thinking about it a lot. So if they really hit on something today, he will take that information right over the cup car and try to benefit his effort tomorrow.
We mentioned earlier the Kevin Harvick Incorporated announcement about next year's Nationwide Series and their technical alliance with Richard Childress Racing, which is my segue to the Childress team. 2 RCR cars decided last Sunday's Talladega Cup race between them by inches. Kevin Harvick in the 29, the white and black car outside, and Clint Boyer in the 33 on the white flag lap when a wreck happened behind them. And the caution flag wave freezing the field. The wreck was a pretty big one. Wow. A.J. Allmendinger upside down, the little nose stand. He was okay, fortunately. At the moment, the field was frozen. Boyer led Harvick by that much to score the win. I'm sure Boyer and Harvick will both be factors again today. Kansas Clint makes his 13th Nationwide Series start of the year from 5th starting spot, Dave.
And Clint Boyer in the 21 today for Richard Childress Racing. Clint, with things sort of winding down in the Nationwide program at Childress, even though you get to run some more with your friends, how important to get a win here today for you?
No, it's very important. I mean, we've come close several times with Zaxby Chevrolet, and you know, feel bad that we haven't got the job done. I've made a couple of mistakes there, and you know, cost us a win. But had a pretty good year this year. We've had a lot of fun with the Zaxby's folks. We appreciate all their support, and hopefully we can go get a win with the last race of the season.
Is it even possible to be mistake-free at Texas? It's so fast.
You better be pretty close to mistake-free. It's going to bite you, so I hope so.
All right, Clint's got a fast race car. We'll see how he does today.
All right, David, thanks. And again, Clint starting in 5th position. So with this merging of effort in the Nationwide Series between Kevin Harvick Incorporated and Richard Childress Racing, we reflect on the numbers RCR has achieved on this tour as the curtain comes down. Yeah.
Well, take a little of that. I mean, put it on him when it comes to numbers.
Wow.
My gosh.
3 driver championships, 4 owner championships, just an absolutely stellar record at RCR Racing.
Again, 56 wins for Richard Childress Racing, and looking for one more as this is the final day for their effort in the Nationwide Series of their official effort. Those kind of accomplishments. Rusty, you're a team owner in this series. You know how tough it is when you see those numbers. How do you react?
It blows me away. I don't know how somebody can do that much, that often. I mean, it's amazing. Let me break away a little bit here. Yeah. I've been thinking about Richard Childress a lot.
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, if anybody's ever going to get the Car Owner of the Year award, it's got to be Richard Childress.
That's right.
This year, man, have you seen what he's done with those Cup cars week in and week out?
And it's been a bootstrap effort, Rusty. I mean, last year, his Cup cars were totally gone, out to lunch. They were in trouble. You know, several seasons ago, they seemed to be some type of trouble at RCR. This man has done it through hard work, rolling up his sleeves. That's why we all admire him so much. They're back at the top again.
He's built all brand new cars, really got involved in technology big time. I mean, the things he has done for this team is just amazing. They've won from the short tracks to the speedways. If you paid any attention like I did last week, all 3 of his cars were in the top all day long, and they were 1-2. Victory lane, man, something else.
Childress looking for another Nationwide Series win here at Texas today, and again, Clint Boyer with the top 5 starting spot and looking to bring down the curtain on that era in style. Up next, how fast will the Fords be today? 2 are qualified in the top 7. We'll talk to those 2 drivers, Carl Edwards and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., when NASCAR Countdown continues from the land of the Longhorn.
That Carl Edwards is good. You watch him. Keep an eye on him.
A busy time on pit road as ESPN's exclusive coverage of the NASCAR Nationwide Series comes to you from the Texas Motor Speedway, the green flag waving on a tough 300-mile race shortly. We mentioned earlier drivers have to steer these Nationwide Series cars a little differently than the Sprint Cup cars because the engines have a lower horsepower, even though both divisions use the same size engine. Let's show and tell you what makes the difference. Tim Brewer in our Craftsman Tech Garage handles that for us. Tim?
Alan, these engines right now in their current configuration make just under 900 horsepower. But when you take the carburetor off, NASCAR's got a little surprise for these guys. They put a tapered spacer on there. What that does, it restricts airflow as well as fuel. And anytime you put this tapered spacer on there, you reduce the horsepower by almost 190 horsepower. That enables the guys to drive deeper into the corner, stay on the gas, because momentum is king, especially here in Texas. Guys?
All right, Tim, thank you for the explanation. And, Rusty, at this particular track, when you have to drive, you have to make yourself drive deeper into the corner. Let's use turn 1 for an example. When you have to make yourself drive in there maybe farther than your brain wants to let you, how do you do that?
It's pretty uncomfortable. It really is, especially for a Cup guy who's got a lot of horsepower, who's used to blasting off the corners and getting down into turn 1 and hitting the brake and slowing up a little bit. Now, since these cars don't have as much horsepower, they'll drive in deeper and deeper and deeper. And when you do that, it gets a little scary, because if you don't drive in real deep, you won't run fast, and then your car will be mad, your crew chief will be mad, and everybody's going to call you a wimp. So you really got to get up on the wheel.
I think the credit needs to go back, though, to these guys who drive these race cars. I mean, we're talking about running 200 miles an hour still. Even though we're 200 horsepower down, these things are still making almost 700 horsepower in these nationwide cars. They're running 200 miles an hour into those corners, and we're talking about not lifting, trying to get that car, as Kevin Harvick was talking about, make that throttle response better, especially he's talking about coming off too, because the car gets tight when you get out of the throttle because it flattens out. They're still trying to run around here wide open. Greatest race car drivers in the world we're getting ready to watch today.
Brad, we went to a test a couple years ago in Las Vegas. When they went to that tapered spacer, those cars ran 14 miles per hour slower in the straightaways and 15 miles per hour faster in the corners.
Wow.
And all the drivers went, oh, man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the rule right now.
Well, let's talk about a couple guys who are getting ready to try and negotiate this tough Texas track under those conditions today. Dr. Jerry Punch is with a young man who's had a very solid second half of the season, Doc.
He certainly has, Alan. Leads Rookie of the Year point standings by 5 points, but he's not driving like a rookie. And Ricky, the team says you've come so far. Where do you think you've grown the most as a driver here over the past few months?
I think it's just laps and experience and the patience that comes along with it. You know, from the earlier this season, I feel like I'm thinking a lot more. You know, that's not just in the race, that's throughout practice, throughout the week. And, you know, we got a pretty good City Financial Ford Fusion here, and, you know, it's the nationwide insurance dash for cash race. So hopefully we can win that. That's a huge bonus for us. And I feel like we got a car that can run up front and be in contention at the end.
You start 7th today. The team said this is a car and a driver now, with your experience, that could run in the top 5 and maybe win a race. I mean, do you feel that good about where you are?
Last time we had this out, we were running in the top 5 and, you know, and passing for second. So I feel like we got the car to do it. And, you know, if we can just not make mistakes, limit our mistakes, and stay focused throughout the whole race, I think we got a shot at it.
Hey, good luck today.
Thank you.
Dave Burns.
And catching up with Martin Truex Jr. now, who is, I believe, entertaining the Out Pet Care folks here today. Huge sponsor this year, and your 4th race with this team. How are you feeling about Texas?
I feel good. We had a good car yesterday. The car's been fast, and got to thank OutPetCare.com and everybody who's helped us out here. Went to their facility the other day where they made some of the puppy pads and stuff, and it was pretty cool. So we just got to thank them for the opportunity, thank all the guys on this Diamond Wall Street Racing team, and yeah, we'll see. We've run in the top 5 every time I've been in this thing, and hopefully today we'll get that win.
And you know how excited your crew chief is. He says every time he brings a car here, he doesn't know quite why, he's always got a good race car here, so Jerry's excited too.
Yeah, he does a good job getting these things ready, you know, preparing good race cars, and everybody at the shop builds good stuff. So just want to get a win. It's been a while. Hopefully today's the day.
All right, and if not here, they're trying to coax him to run at least one more race this year, Jamie.
That's right. Old Carl Edwards, I talked to your crew chief yesterday. He told me that he swapped out motors before bringing the car here. He put your favorite motor in, the most powerful one. Is it paying off? Do you think it could get the job done today?
The Copart.com Fusion was pretty fast in qualifying. We were pretty fast in practice. And, you know, Mike Beam puts everything he's got into this, and it means a lot for him to do that. So hopefully it's faster. Hopefully we'll make some more power. Doug Yates and the guys have been doing really well. I just got to say, today we're racing with heavy hearts. We're thinking of Mike Mittler and his family, and Sherry Herman and her family. Great groups of people that are going through a tough time right now, and hopefully we can get a victory for them. It would be really special. I love racing here, and hopefully it turns out to be a good day.
All right, Carl Edwards has 3 wins in the Cup Series. Looking for his first win here. He'll roll off 3rd. Alan?
All right, Jamie, thanks. The always festive pre-race show here in Texas ongoing.
That's a heck of an entrance right there, I'll tell you what.
State flag making its way into the racetrack. They just sang deep in the heart of Texas a minute ago. And I have no doubt that somewhere up above the pit studio at the moment, there's an American flag making its way down into this great stadium that is getting ready to host 300 miles of racing here today. I mentioned a young driver up in the top 10 with a qualifying run, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. The other guy that's up there among all these former series champions is Steve Wallace. He starts 9th today. Let's hear from him.
And if I remember correctly, Stephen, another second-generation driver by the name of Dale Earnhardt Jr. got his first nationwide win here at Texas, following in the footsteps of his dad. So how about you today? Can you follow Dad here and be a winner in the nationwide series?
Oh, man, I sure hope so. You know, our 5-hour Toyota was pretty good there in qualifying. It was, you know, pretty good in practice, too. So we were in good here the first race, finished 8th or 9th, I think, and feel like we got a good car, man. Let's see.
What's the key here for you early on? I know you've tried to temper your enthusiasm. You'd like to be aggressive, but Dad said just use the car and keep it under you.
Yeah, you know, we've been having some good runs lately. Had a real good run last week at St. Louis, running, you know, 3rd and 4th all day, and, you know, blew a tire. But our you know, car's been off and on this year, and we're, you know, starting to gain on them here towards the end of the season. So we're excited about today. Feel like we got a good 5-hour Toyota, and, you know, hopefully here on lap 200, we're up front somewhere.
If you're leading in the final few laps and you look over and see that pit studio rocking back and forth, you'll know Dad's pretty pumped.
Yeah, I think he'll probably be able to, about to flip over there if that's going to happen, you know.
All right. Stephen Wallace thinks he's got a really good race car, guys.
I'm not getting anywhere close because there will be more than a little energy in here. Stephen starting in 9th position. Okay, couple of things to watch for in today's race. Yours is a place.
Yeah, it's turn 2. It's really, like I say, you're coming off that banking and the racetrack flattens out, and guys really have to pay attention all day long. Car gets really tight. You got to figure out how to get off turn 2.
And Rusty, yours is restarts.
I'm really concerned about the restarts. On the front straightaway, the track is very, very flat, and for whatever reason, they always spin the tires, have a lot of pileups, while they're running about 55 miles an hour. Gardner's sitting still right behind our pit studio. They wreck them like mad, so you got to be careful right at that start-finish line right there.
Good way to throw away a good day is getting caught in one of those mashups on a restart. And, of course, the two main stories of the day, Kyle Busch going for a 6th consecutive nationwide series win at this racetrack.
Guys, just dominant. He'll be fun to watch today. Starts 4th, and he's got some tough competition up there with Harvick and Boyer. But what about James Buescher? We haven't talked about him at all, and he's on the pole.
Oh, we heard from him earlier.
That's
he
true.
talked to us.
He might be in the middle of the mix.
There you go. And then there's the championship story. Brad Keselowski, who is in position to claim the NASCAR Nationwide Series driver's crown today. If Carl Edwards gains maximum points, leads the most laps, and wins the race, Brad can lock up the title by finishing 21st or better.
He's a little nervous today. He's had too many problems.
Think so?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he went plowing through the grass twice this week in the Cup car and the Nationwide car, and he's like, this is enough.
But we've seen him start back in the pack throughout the season and throughout the race with his crew chief, Paul Wolf, work his way up through the field and get a great finish. I think he'll do the same today.
Starting in 16th position today, and you heard from Brad earlier talking about just doing what you normally do is the plan for he and that team today. And again, Roger Penske will be watching from up on the spotter stand through the day. By the way, Brad, our in-race reporter, and Clint Boyer trying to bring down the curtain on the Nationwide Series Richard Childress Racing era that has been so successful.
Now, he's going to be fast today. He's qualified 5th, and I talked to him. He feels really good about his car. He thinks he can win this thing today. Brad, he's pumped up.
Another guy to keep an eye on, Clint Boyer, without question.
And Danica Patrick, again, looking for a top 15 finish in the race today. Danica will start in the 28th position in the 7 car at the wave of the green flag. So, lots of stories to follow as these 300 miles unfold. Can Kevin crack the Kyle code at this track? Can Kansas Clint be the spoiler and claim the cash? Plus, Brad Kay, coached by the captain, crowned king of the series. Okay, I'm all out of rhymes. Go ahead.
I wonder how many of those parachutes would it take to tote me in here if I jumped out of I think they put about 4 of them on me and I'd float in here, or I'd land with a thud.
You want to be a cowboy,
I want to be a cowboy. That's exactly right. Let's ride.
Texas Motor Speedway, dreamed up and designed by famed track owner Bruton Smith to be fast, flashy, and fun for fans. Certainly that vision's become reality. And today, the fans coming out again to see the NASCAR Nationwide Series race in Fort Worth for the 20th time. Get ready for the opening ceremony down trackside. Then they're going to clear the grid. The drivers will buckle in and they'll turn them loose on a day when Brad Keselowski can clinch the championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the Grapevine Fire Department Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as Texas Motor Speedway track chaplain Father Jay Atwood offers today's invocation.
Almighty God, Heavenly Father,
We give you thanks for an absolutely gorgeous day. We give you thanks for this country and for the men and women who defend it and the freedoms we celebrate every day. We give you thanks for motorsport racing and for all who make it possible, the promoters, the officials, the sponsors. But on this day, we give thanks for the drivers, their crews, and their teams, and ask for your safety and protection among each of them. Remind each of us that what we do to your honor and glory. And this we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
To honor our troops, please place your right hand over your heart as former American Idol and Nashville Star finalist and host of Texas Music Interactive on 95.9 The Ranch Radio, Charla Corn performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early lights once so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Let's hear it for Charla Corn for her performance on our national anthem. And look right above us, ladies and gentlemen, the T-38 from the 435th.
All right, time to go to work for these drivers at least. For us, time to see who's going to be the bravest and best on one of the baddest tracks in NASCAR. The engines fire. We go racing in Texas next.
NASCAR Nationwide Series at Texas is brought to you by Verizon. The signal is yours. Wield it to transmit anything you want. Verizon. The choice of tailgaters, Bush's Baked Beans, and Nationwide Insurance. Enter this code at codespotter.com for a chance to win a Roush Ford Mustang.
A beautiful afternoon in Fort Worth, Texas for the NASCAR Nationwide Series to go racing at the super fast Texas Motor Speedway. The command to start engines is just a moment away. Before the start, we recap a couple of the top stories entering the day. Here's Dr. Jerry Punch.
Thank you, Alan. You know, Brad Keselowski grew up in the Midwest watching his dad, uncle, and grandfather chase short track and regional racing titles. But Brad had a dream. His dream was to appear on a bigger stage. He wanted to come to NASCAR. 4 years ago, he came here driving for an underfunded team owner named Keith Coleman. Now, he impressed a lot of people, including Dale Earnhardt Jr., who said, "I know what it feels like to be a third-generation driver." He drove for Dale Jr. 2 years, winning 6 races, and then moved on to Roger Penske this year in a Dodge. Today, Brad Keselowski can realize that dream by finishing 21st or better. This is what NASCAR is all about, folks. Chasing dreams, the rags to riches story of Brad Keselowski in just 4 short years. Dave.
And Doc, Kyle Busch loves to do things in NASCAR that have never been accomplished before. And this weekend at Texas Motor Speedway, he can win at this track for the 6th time in a row in the Nationwide Series. That has never been done. Crew Chief Jason Ratcliffe told me that 3 wins was amazing, 4 was unbelievable, and 5, well, that was just stupid. How do you get greater than great? Well, they hope to today and put another record in the record book. Alan?
That's fun. Greater than great. David, thank you. And there's Danica Patrick in the field as well. Finished second in an IndyCar race here in June. And still looking for a top 15 finish in her stock car debut at this track today.
Yeah, I think she'll do a very good job. She did very well at Charlotte. qualified the car well, ran some very, very good lap times, was keeping up with the leaders on pace. She has a lot of experience in this race, at this racetrack in an Indy car. I think we see Danica Patrick's best finish today at Texas.
And Rusty, when the drivers are sitting there getting buckled in like that at this particular track, you were telling me just a second ago, some things go through your mind.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm thinking about the pitfalls in this racetrack, some of the problem areas that I got to be aware of. Restarts at the start-finish line. We talked in countdown how you can spin the tires and pile up. I'm also thinking about when I get in traffic, will I lose that nose, not have enough downforce, and maybe lose the car off of turn 2. I'll be watching for that, the exit of turn 2. Also, don't get too high off of turn 4 and tear this car up. Those are the 3 things at this track that's going through my mind.
And you see these drivers fastening up the safety gear and getting ready to go. Again, the fastest track in NASCAR this year in the Nationwide Series, the 189+ mile an hour qualifying lap that won the pole for James Buescher, the fastest we've seen all season. In fact, the fastest we've seen in some time in this series. It is a lightning quick racetrack these drivers will ride today, especially with the cooler weather helping these engines make a little more horsepower. Speaking of engines, time to let them roar. Let's go trackside.
And now, race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome your Grand Marshal, manager of Texas Oil Exchange in Duncanville, Texas, Eric Ellison.
Drivers, start your engine!
Done with style. And so we're ready to go here in Texas. There's a champion to be crowned, a series record held with Dale Earnhardt and Jack Ingram waiting to be broken, and possibly an upset about to happen. We'll see how it plays out. To take us through it, our 3 men in the booth, none of whom would wear a cowboy hat for this on-camera appearance. Marty Reed, Dale Jarrett, and Andy Petrie, gentlemen.
It's because Brad's got the market all cornered. Thanks, Alan. Hello again, everybody. You've heard everything about Kyle Busch. There's 42 other guys in this field. He's going for 6 in a row on this track. Is there anybody really out there that can stop him?
I think so, Marty. I think if you look at that 33 car starting on the front row, Kevin Harvick and his team have really closed the gap on Joe Gibbs' dominance in this series. I really think that this is one of his best tracks. This could be a really good opportunity for Kevin to kind of break that dominance up a little bit with Kyle. Kyle's going to be good, but I think Kevin can beat him.
Well, there are a number of drivers and teams that think they have kind of closed the gap there. Probably his most serious challenger may be his own teammate, Joey Logano, but at the end of the day, no, it's just not going to happen. This guy has this racetrack figured out to a T. He's going to go out there, and the only people that can really beat them are the team themselves and Kyle Busch making a mistake.
Well, and if you were with us throughout Countdown, you know that several drivers have jobs secure for next season, but there's still a lot out there that do not know what they're going to be doing. 3 weeks left. Are we going to get more aggressive here?
Time's running out, Marty. So there are drivers out there with a lot to prove, and they want to get it done now. This is a great racetrack to do that. It's a big, fast track. If you can be successful here, you can really open some eyes of some people that might be able to put you in a car.
Yeah, guys, I can remember back in the 80s. I know that's a long time ago and have a hard time remembering, but I was fighting, trying to get a job, making one of these owners notice my talents as a race car driver. So, yeah, I was a little more aggressive. I think we're going to see that today. These guys are going to put it out there on the line and just see what they can do to get someone to notice their talent. So that may mean pushing and shoving here.
Well, we saw one of those drivers get noticed a few years back. He's on the verge of being a champion. He's going to be our in-race reporter. We're talking about none other than our points leader in the 22 car, Brad Keselowski. Let's talk to him, DJ.
Hey, Brad, Dale Jarrett, ESPN. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Brad, our first question comes from our ESPN mailbag, and Larry in Lawrenceville, Georgia asked, would winning today's race be a perfect way for you to clinch the championship this year? And I'm going to add, was your car good enough yesterday in practice to make that happen?
Yes, it would be the perfect way. That's what we're all going to try to do here. But it's not going to be easy. Obviously got Kyle up there who runs really good here. And, nobody gives us anything. We saw how hard it was for us in practice alone. So, I think our car is pretty good. We just got to be smart and work our way up to the front at a steady pace. We can do that. Absolutely. Be there at the end and win.
Hey, Brad, I've talked to a lot of drivers and heard a lot on TV this weekend talking about how rough this racetrack is. First, have you had to change your line any in entering these corners where those rough spots are? And how difficult is that going to make side-by-side racing into these corners?
Yeah, 10-4, that's a great point, Dale. It's a very rough racetrack, but that gives it character, and it's kind of unique here in Texas. If it wasn't so rough, the high line would be way faster. So, you know, if you have your car set up to where it can get through the bumps real well, you can run the top and make passes. And it's hard to tell. I think we've got our discount tire Dodge to where we can do that, but you know, you don't know until you get in a race and how the grip level develops and how it falls off on the bottom lane. That's where we're going to determine whether or not you can run the top.
All right, Brad, have a great day in trying to clinch that championship. Now, Andy's going to talk to your crew chief, Paul Wolf.
Very much, guys.
Hey, Paul Wolf, Andy Petrie in the booth. You got us?
Loud and clear, Andy.
Hey, Paul, what do you need that car to do today on this racetrack to make it where Brad can drive it in victory lane when it's over?
Touching on what Brad mentioned there with how rough this track's kind of gotten. Really need to work through making that car work through the bumps. We worked on that in practice. Just seems like you can get your car one end or the other as far as blowing through the grip there as you go through the bumps. So we worked through our shock stuff a little bit. Didn't quite get as much practice as we wanted. It was definitely a challenge with short practice time yesterday, but all the guys worked really hard to repair the car, and just proud of the effort they put in, and feel like we'll have to work hard today, but we'll put ourselves in position at the end, and the fastest car doesn't always win these things, and as long as we're there at the end, feel like we'll have a shot at it.
Okay, Paul, I hope you got that shot combination right, and good luck today. Thanks for talking to us.
Andy, thanks.
Cars out on track. When we come back, what it means is we'll be going green here at Texas Motor Speedway. Beautiful view of the Great American Speedway as we're getting ready to go green. Don't forget about the Nationwide Dash for Cash program. It's 4 races. This is the final stop. You must compete in every nationwide race to qualify. There are 2 Cup crossover drivers that have qualified for that $75,000 if they win. Of course, that's Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards. But Justin Allgaier and Trevor Bayne could have the year-end bonus on their minds, 75,000 big ones for the exclusive nationwide driver with the most points in those 4 races. All right, starting grid's going to be coming across the top of your screen. 8 drivers did not make the field. Chase Miller, Carl Long, Brian Keselowski, Danny O'Quinn, Jeff Green, Morgan Shepherd, Mark Green, and Mike Harmon. No cars to the rear, and a 20-year-old James Busher from nearby Plano, Texas, brings the field around. 5 of the drivers starting in the top 6 are past Nationwide Series champions. Not just winners, but champions. So Busher's got a lot of company right behind him. Pace car has pulled off. Coming down on the front straightaway, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Challenge at Texas Motor Speedway is green. Start. Everybody made it through turn 2. You heard the guys talking in countdown how treacherous that corner can be. Can we make it through lap number 1? And right now, coming up to the stripe, James Busher is going to lead by several car lengths.
Yeah, so watch these guys up on the high side. Even though we had practice earlier today, the racetrack hasn't really widened out that much, so they're having to be a little bit careful up on the top right now.
Well, one reason it's so fast, this track has so much grip right now. These cars are visibly fast. I mean, just standing here watching them, it's just unreal how fast they're going through the corner, not hardly lifting at all.
Clint Boyer on the low side, Carl Edwards right above him. Clint clears, and we're about to complete lap number 2. And Busher is opening up the lead even a little bit more. It's almost a full half second over Kevin Harvick, then Kyle Busch, Boyer, Carl Edwards. That's your top 5.
There goes Kyle Busch for that second spot already.
Now, he's a man on the gas.
So Kyle does clear, take over the second position, and he'll set his sights now on James Busher. I was checking when Busher got the pole at age 20, and we were thinking about who was the youngest. Guy right behind him in second place. He did it when he was 18.
Yeah, we just talked about it in the countdown show just how good he is here. You see just barely getting out of that throttle and back on it wide open. It just shows you, how much grip this has and just how much Kyle Busch is able to carry that momentum through the middle of the corner. That's the way you do it. I mean, you see right here, just getting down in the corner, not even all the way out of the throttle.
Yeah, and the other thing is you see no brakes on this. Kyle he's really good at keeping this momentum going. A lot of that is not slowing the race car down with any brake at all.
And unlike last week at Talladega, everything is sort of sorted itself out pretty quickly here and through the first 10 positions. As you can see, pretty much single file for right now.
Well, at Talladega, you can hold that throttle down wide open, no problem. I mean, by yourself, it's no problem to hold it down. But here, you're right up against the grip level, and it's hard to do that. I mean, they are really turning, bending these cars. It's a 1.5 mile track.
Here comes.
Yeah, there goes Kyle for the lead.
Kyle is going to take the lead now, so he'll lead on this lap. Buescher led the first 4. See all the way back. It's about the 12th spot before we find a little side-by-side action. Whoa, little nudge back there. Here comes Joey Logano. Logano with Martin Truex Jr. Logano going underneath. Got a little wiggle there. That is a battle for 6th.
Got a very wide right here on 4. Jeremy Clements right there in the middle.
Justin Allgaier also in that mix. Stan Barrett in the 31. Sorts out a little bit, although Barrett's about to get run over by the 10 car.
And Jeremy Clements in that 04, he's got that car rolling.
Well, Stan Barrett qualified well, but he hasn't raced much this year in these cars.
Let's go back and show you just how close this was.
I was watching these guys come out of turn 4. Oh, didn't see it get quite that close, but
nice save by Jeremy.
Yeah, excellent.
Let's go back to the battle for 3rd. Kevin Harvick's got a mirror full of Carl Edwards. Edwards going down low, and it looks like he's going to get under him here. Momentum for Harvick keeps him up there.
Yeah, but he's going to give up that spot. His car doesn't look like it's exactly to his liking right now. Everyone was pretty happy with his car in practice.
Well, and remember, Vince, in the pre-race, he was concerned about tires. What's the word you're hearing?
Well, and also in that pre-race interview, you heard Kevin say that they didn't run much in practice, so he wasn't quite sure what he had. And then right away, he identified that Kyle Busch was getting off the corner a lot better than he is. And he says right now it's just a little bit too loose. That's why you saw Edwards able to get underneath him. Harvick not pushing it now. Knows he's got a good car, comparatively speaking, to the field, but not quite good enough to challenge these guys up ahead of him.
And that top 3 opening up a little bit of ground. Battle further back. Danica Patrick's got an eye full of this. That's Eric Darnell in the 16 right in front of her 7 car. Michael Annett in the 15. The 05 of David Starr. Whoa, into the wall. Here we go. Contact.
All right, go low, go low, go lower, go lower.
Danica got some damage right there, too, on her right
go
front.
Go 1 groove, slow down, just stay on the line, stay on the line, stay on that line there, keep coming.
She goes underneath David Starr. Starr's got the most damage.
Yeah, still no caution. That's why they're racing around here fast. See a lot of damage on that car of David Starr.
Starr, a native of Texas, has run here multiple times in the Truck Series.
Be lucky if that right front doesn't
it just
blow
did.
out.
It just did. You can see the sparks. He's down. And really slowing down now. Going through 2. And we are still green.
All right, come on down. We're going to have to pit, guys. Right side tires.
Let's go back, show you exactly what happened.
Yeah, we heard these guys, Rusty and Brad, talked about early in the countdown show, just how this track flattens out and your car just pushes, and you get so much wheel in, the back end breaks loose. You see that right there where Danica got the damage on the right front. Just typical racing here at Texas.
From on board with Danica.
She did everything right here. You can see her check up, get down out of the way.
Go low, go low, go lower, go lower.
That was Darnell with the contact. She pitted. What's the latest you hear, Dave?
Well, they replaced 2 right side tires on that 7 car. Danica complaining that she could not turn the car when she got back down into turns 1 and 2. Fixed a little bit of right side damage as well, but just the 2 right sides replaced.
And you can see at the top of the screen, that's David Starr. He has pulled down onto pit road as well. Battle for 2nd place right now. The 30 of James Buescher, Carl Edwards. They're duking it out. Harvick is now 4th. Martin Truex is 5th. Joey Logano and Clint Boyer round out your top 7. Buescher's already trying to work the middle of the racetrack here early in the race. He was quickest in the final practice. Of course, took the pole. his second career pole in the series. And right now, he's door to door with the 60 of Carl Edwards.
Yeah, that middle groove right there that he's running is something that you can make work here. You keep a lot of momentum going. You can see just the momentum that carries off of the corner makes it difficult for someone like Carl Edwards get the run that he needs. He'll try to outdrive him down into turn 3 and get enough room. You can see Carl did that now. James Busher giving him that spot.
Brad Keselowski trying to work his way towards the front of the field. He's into the 8th spot right now. Right now with Clint Boyer. We can tell you David Starr too fast entering on that pit stop when he came in for damage, so he'll have to do a pass through. So bad news just got a little worse. Paul Menard, our first look at he and Stephen Wallace as they are battling it out for the 10th position. We'll let you know David Starr is doing his pass through right now. He finished 15th in the truck race last night in his 25th truck start here at Texas Motor Speedway. 17 is the laps we're working right now. There's your top 5 here at Texas with Kyle Busch out in front. Does that surprise anybody? After all, he's only won the last 5. Make sure to go to Goodyear.com to check out Goodyear Support Our Troops program. There you can send a thank you message from a NASCAR driver, enter for a chance to win a 2011 Ford Taurus, and other great prizes. 3 cars have parked it already. Dennis Setzer is officially the first out of this race. LePage and Eflin are listed as behind the wall and off. Battle for 5th right now that we're looking at. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. trying to hold off Martin Truex Jr. Battle of the juniors. If we can get Dale Earnhardt out here, that's a trifecta.
What a great job Ricky Stenhouse has done throughout the year. Just becoming more familiar with these race cars. This City Financial Ford is really running well today, but you have to give a big call to Ricky. You know, a lot of people were down on him early in the year, but Jack Roush stuck with him, gave him the opportunity, and they've made the most of it.
Well, he had 5 DNFs for crashes in the first 12 starts of 2010. 0 DNFs in the last 17. That's the big difference. Left side of your screen, you can see Trevor Bayne and Stephen Wallace going after each other. That is for position, 10th to be exact.
Well, you know, Jack Roush is not afraid to take a chance on young talent. You see right here, the 17, Trevor Bayne in the white car, unsponsored. He's put him in a car after he lost his ride over there with Michael Waltrip Racing. Doing a good job. Here's another pass.
How about a battle for 4th? Ricky Stenhouse Jr. going after our pole sitter, James Busher. Doesn't have him clear yet, but he's close. He's got him now.
Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse said earlier that he really liked his race car yesterday in practice. The 30 car's fallen back to 5th, Jamie.
James Busher, our pole sitter, yes, he has slipped back a few spots. He's saying he's tight on exit. That is why he's lost a little bit of speed. Remember, this is just his 22nd start in the Nationwide Series. He had a great run in the Truck Series last night, battled from mid-pack up to 6th. He's hoping for his first top 5 today.
That's one of the problems with this series is all in-pound races. So if you sit on the pole, it usually means you've got a car that's a little bit tighter and it can run that fast lap, but it does seem to come back to haunt you in the races, and that might be one thing. This is kind of a young team, new team. They're probably learning some of that now. They've learned how to make the car go fast. Now they have to learn how to make it stay fast.
Well, and you saw just how quickly Brad Keselowski blew past to take over the 5th spot. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. as well.
And as a driver and a young driver, you have to learn how to adjust that too. That's just part of the learning curve that people like. We talked about Ricky Stenhouse, but James Busher will have to go through the same thing, learning exactly how much he can do with that race car and how much freer he can make it to make it go in a longer run.
So Truex is cleared. Joey Logano's trying to get around him as well. Let's get an update on the 99, Dave.
And it's that freer that Martin Truex Jr. is looking for as well in that 99 car. He said it's just a little snug in the center. I need that front grip in the center of the corner, and that's why really he hasn't made up much ground from his 6th place starting spot, guys. We started 6th today, and there it is. Currently 6th. He started 6th. He's gone nowhere.
Well, yeah, he backed up a little bit. Now he's rallying back, so starting to go in the right direction.
Yeah, these guys are facing a little different racetrack than what they had yesterday during their practice, even though there had been a lot going on. But we had a truck race here last night, then 2 practice sessions for the Cup cars here today. So there's a lot more rubber down, and that's probably more of what they're fighting, with trying to get these cars to turn, and everybody talking about a tighter situation.
Boy, Joey Logano on the high side makes it look easy. As he goes around, Martin Truex Jr. takes over that spot, so move him into the 6th position. Back even further in the field, how about a battle for 15th? The 11 of David Rudiman, the 12 of Justin Allgaier. And Allgaier, of course, part of that big announcement yesterday that he'll be moving on to Turner Motorsports next season. Let's get more from Vince.
Well, and Allgaier bumped into Steve Turner at Talladega last week and asked Turner about a possibility of running for his team next year. And he said, well, give me a call early in the week. Allgaier did, and by Wednesday they had a deal. Smart move if you're Steve Turner. Certainly Allgaier has shown his worth this year with a win at Bristol in March, and he's the highest pointed nationwide only driver, 4th in points. As far as his car today, a little bit loose. He said he expected it to be not quite to his liking in the early going, but he still managed to move up some spots. He started 20th, but says it's still a little bit too free.
Well, and we'll get back to that as you look at this battle right here with Menard side by side with Martin Truex Jr., because it could be a $150,000 bonus payday for Justin Allgaier. We'll explain that as the day progresses. It has to do with the Nationwide Dash for Cash. Right now, we're watching Menard put the 99 one position back. So Paul Menard on the move. That's the 23 of Richardson. He's in 36 right now, 1 lap down. So is Kenny Wallace. He's running 35th, 1 lap down. There's your top 5 after 31 laps here at Texas. Back here at the Great American Speedway, you're looking at our race leader, Kyle Busch. He has now led 32 of the 36 laps run. We can also tell you that Tim Andrews has taken his car behind the wall, as is David Gilliland. David Starr's also gone behind for more repairs. We already told you about Eflin, LePage, and Setzer, so that gets you updated on that. So far, 26 cars still on the lead lap, and there is Kyle Busch. Let's listen on the radio for this conversation on this lap.
I'm fine, see you. It's not bad getting into 1, but it's a little bit free. Before the center, through the center, you're trying to get back to the gas wide open, and it's out. And then once the track starts leveling off, the front end lifts, and it's okay. It's free all the way into 3. Landing down into the center on throttle, a little free. And then you can drive up off. Same thing in turn 2.
Let's diagnose it.
Well, I mean, just good information. You know, he gives you all that. It's a little bit free. Entering the corner, he says just a little bit before he's getting to the, to the center, and then he's, turning the steering wheel. It's all of that right there gives the crew chief a lot to work with. And it's good that Kyle can do that, and he's got this big enough lead he can talk all the way around the racetrack.
I'll say at 185 miles an hour, he gave him a full lap around there, full description of what was going on. But yeah, that is what helps make Kyle Busch the driver that he is because he is really good at dissecting each part of the corner and letting the crew chief know exactly what they need, what he is fighting, and how they can go about making changes then with their car.
And he keeps opening up the lead. You notice it's 2.59 seconds. It was 2.39 the lap prior over second place Carl Edwards. Kevin Harvick is in 3rd. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is up to 4th. Brad Keselowski rounds out your top 5. And we can tell you that Keselowski has been on the march since the start. He's picked up 11 spots. The biggest mover since the start of the race was Michael McDowell. He's picked up 15. Eric Darnell into pit road as we look at Kevin Harvick right now, 3rd after starting 2nd. And we're only on lap 41. And Darnell's in for his first pit stop. There you see him on the left side of your screen. Doc.
Eric Darnell in. He's had the same problems a lot of guys are having in the car, just slipping and sliding. And just he said there's just no grip out there, as if the rear of the car is driving the car. Had to come in and get some fresh tires on. Thought they might have a tire going down. They're going to check.
Well, we have been green since the start of the race. He was 23rd on the racetrack. And right now he is 1 lap down. Battle for 11th right now.
Yeah, I got to give Jeremy Clements a call right here. He has really been driving forward in this race, almost matching lap times with Kyle Busch with his 04 Boudreaux's butt pace car. And he makes the pass on Stephen Wallace.
Well, and he
close to the top 10. I'm sorry.
That's all right. He finished 10th at Gateway 2 weeks ago. That was his career best. Doc, this team's doing really well today.
It is remarkable, Marty. They have very little, if any, sponsorship. You mentioned the sponsor a moment ago, but they have a lot of desire and a lot of talent. They have crew chief Ricky Pearson. That is the son of David Pearson, the brother of Larry Pearson, calling the shots on pit road. Clements Automotive. It is the family business that builds these engines, and this race car is one they bought from Richard Childress. They're trying to put it all together to get a top 10 run here. And this young man, 25 years of age, doing a heck of a job. And one car in the wall, guys.
Yeah, it looks like James Busher may have blown that right front by being too tight. You saw him falling back. See a lot of damage there.
So tough break for our pole sitter. You can see the whole right side of the car is pancaked.
It won't run.
And we now have our first caution.
Yeah, we'd seen him really sliding backwards.
yeah.
Man, that tire just comes apart. Oh,
Wow, that's a hard hit right there.
So a tough break for the 20-year-old. Jamie, what are you hearing?
The timing was just off, Marty. James Busher was just told to come down pit road. That's exactly when the tire let go. He felt it going down. They were going to pit early just to fix the issue. Unfortunately, they were just a couple seconds off, guys. He is going back to the garage as you see him there. First time pole sitter here at Texas.
So a tough break for James as we're under our first caution here on lap number 44.
That's also a tough break for Eric Darnell. He had made a pit stop under green and just gone back out there, so it's going to cost him. It's a good opportunity for a lot of guys that are trying to get on pit road here to make some changes to their cars. Here comes Kyle Busch.
Now, Darnell's actually 2 laps down at this point. Here they come down pit road. Let's send it to Dave Burns.
Leader Kyle Busch is on pit road. He looks like he's gone into his pit box pretty hard and overshoots it. He does back up. They'll get a track bar adjustment. 1 round down on that for Kyle's car to add grip. Doc?
Brad Keselowski said it's very, very tight in the middle in 3 and 4. Loose coming off. They're going to put 4 tires on it, fill it up with Sunoco fuel, make a chassis change. Vince.
Center of the screen, Kevin Harvick, very loose. 2 rounds of wedge in the left rear for Carl Edwards. He's a little free in and free out, so they made a track bar adjustment and air pressure adjustment, both right front tires, as you see him racing off.
And as we take a look at our Nationwide Insurance race off pit road, you can see Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick, Ricky Stenhouse all pick up a spot each at the expense of our former race leader, Kyle Busch. Eric Almirola, biggest gainer there. He gets into the top 10 coming off there. That's +7. And look at Clint Boyer, top of your screen. They're pushing him, trying to get him refired.
It looks like it's stalled or something.
Push him back, guys. Push him back.
He had started 5th in this race, dropped back to like 14th through this first round of pit stops, and now this is going on. What's happening, Jamie?
Clint Boyer is yelling that something's wrong with the carburetor, and ironically enough, yesterday in qualifying, he had a similar issue. It took a while for it to get fired, and once he did, and you see him fire it up there, he's down and away. Guys, remember, this is the last time this 21 car will run. Kind of a sentimental day for this Richard Childress Racing crew. Nationwide Series, 5 championships with this number. This is their last hurrah, and they're hoping to get back out there and get back up to the front as they've lost many positions, Marty.
He came in 17th on this round of pit stops, and he's going to be back at the back of the lead lap. The lucky dog will go to Ricky Carmichael, and this is why we're under our first caution of the day. A tough one for James Busch. Don't forget Verizon Wireless customers. Text Champion to 43776 for exclusive Champion chats. It's content from our NASCAR Now Roundtable of Experts. As Justin Allgaier, you're on board with him right here in 10th position as we're getting ready to go back to green after our first and only caution. And we noticed Kyle Busch had problems on pit road. And let's go back and revisit what actually happened.
Well, he slid through his pit stall, and you can see that right side kind of shows that up because he had to back up before they could start changing that right side. And that's where it cost him all the time. You see the jack and the left side were pretty equal to Carl Edwards, but he lost all that time having to back up.
One wave around for Eric Darnell. And let's go back and show you exactly what happened as we get a quick moment here.
He's ducking in here trying to make up just a little bit of time. That's on the brakes and slides just over that line.
And let's listen to the radio.
Sorry I overshot, but guys, come on. I need some help backing it up. I can't always put it in reverse. If I blow out reverse, it's going to be big.
Hey, Tim 4, I mean, you were just barely there. I think they thought you made it. You were just barely over.
We'll get ready for another stat for Kyle. You know, the 39 laps he's led so far, guys, he has now crossed 2,000 laps led in 2010 in just 27 starts.
Pretty amazing.
He is already the all-time lap leader in the series. Second on the win list, closing quickly on Mark Martin. Let's reset it for you. We've got Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick up front with Ricky Stenhouse and Kyle Busch in row 2. Then Brad Keselowski, Jason Leffler, Joey Logano, Eric Almirola, and now rounding out the top 10, Justin Allgaier and Martin Truex Jr. Green flag flies. Carl Edwards on the low side. Gets a good jump on Harvick.
He did. Let's see where Kyle Busch goes and how quick he can get back to the front right here on that high side. He's going to get challenged right now by Brad Keselowski down on the bottom.
He does. Keselowski has the low line. They're side by side. Now all of a sudden that momentum starting to kick in for the 18. See Joey Logano right behind Brad. So Carl Edwards leads another lap. A little further back. Some side-by-side action, almost 3 wide there.
Yeah, you see Clint Boyer, he had that problem on pit road where his car stalled. Jeremy Clement also had a long stop down there, lost about 10 spots on pit road after driving almost into the top 10, just outside in 11th.
Yeah, Boyer restarted 22nd. He has already jumped up to 16th in 1.5 laps.
Yeah, really expected a lot more from this 21 car today, and Clint Boyer. A lot of people in the garage area thought that they were pretty quick during practice sessions yesterday.
He's side by side with the 09 of Brian Scott and the 17 of Trevor Bayne.
You can see Clint wanting to stick his nose in here in between, but thought better of it.
In case you missed countdown, of course, Brian Scott's one of the guys that's got employment for next year. He's going to be driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. He's right in front of Clint in that 09. And those rookie stripes will be coming off in 3 more races. How about Kevin Harvick along with Ricky Stenhouse Jr.? Battle for second, and we're hearing maybe a problem, Vince?
Exactly, boy. The 33 pit crew jumped up quickly, getting ready possibly for a pit stop as Harvick believes he's got a loose wheel. So look for cars to go by him and Harvick to possibly be heading for pit road.
The one guy that you guys thought might be able to challenge Kyle Busch, and there goes Kyle right past him.
Yeah, that was one of the Achilles heels of this team has been that pit crew. You know, they've had good cars, a lot of races, and then making mistakes.
Let me know where everybody's at. 10-4, about 3 back to 22. That's LED coming right now.
All right, he said vibrating so bad he can't see.
Yeah, and he's talking about the mirror. He can't see the guys around him, and a lot of times, I mean, it will get so bad that you literally can't hardly see out the front either, but he's talking more about the mirror vibrating, so that tells you that it is something with one of the tires or wheels, and whether it be a weight or whatever, but see how much it's bouncing around.
Look at the way he's hacksawing that wheel.
How long will you want to put up with that, Dale? I mean, if you think it's a loose wheel, how many laps do you want to stay out there?
Yeah, not many. At the speeds that you're running here, his situation, you know, I know this is his own team, but, you know, he is battling for a championship in the Sprint Cup Series.
Harvick right now losing ground. He's back to 4th.
You can see the speeds entering the corner, over 180 miles an hour. You don't want to have a wheel come loose or actually break the center out. That's one of the problems that you can have. If that wheel is vibrating loose, you'll end up breaking that center out and lose the whole wheel.
Good battle going on for Reed Sorensen and the 66 of Stephen Wallace. They're duking it out for a position on the racetrack. That's 11th and 12th, and Sorensen takes over that spot.
Yeah, Reed's been moving forward since the drop of the green flag, really. You see Boyer trying to make his move inside of Brendan Gaughan.
And Brendan, a new dad just recently. Wife Tatum gave birth to young Michael. Congratulations to the whole family. Everybody's doing fine, we hear. You mentioned Boyer. He's up to 15th now. Remember, he restarted in 22nd. Right side of your screen. You've got Martin Truex Jr. going underneath the 12 of Justin Allgaier for 7th. Battle for the race lead. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. says, teammate, I'd like to take it away from you, and he has.
How about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just driving his way right to the front, passing Carl Edwards, former champion of this. So has to feel really good about what's going on here now.
I was kind of keeping one eye on him, watching him run second, and wondering how long it was going to take Kyle Busch to get by.
Yeah.
Heck, he passed Carl, drove off.
Let's get an update from pit road. How about it, Jamie?
Well, they made one small adjustment on this car, and it has come to life. Of course, he was tight before the round of stops, just like everybody else. They made a wedge adjustment, and that car is going to the front. Ricky, though, was very confident coming into this race. The because you guys remember in the spring here, he got together with his own teammate that took him out, but up until then, he was running top 10.
He doesn't want to be reminded of that. Here's another interesting fact. He's the only driver in the top 11 right now without a Nationwide Series win. A little bit further back in the field, you've got the teammates from Rusty Wallace Racing going side by side with Brendan Gaughan underneath Stephen Wallace.
Oh, Brian Scott gets a little bit of a run there on Steven. So he's looking inside.
Yeah, battling his car. You get up on that high side. And again, both of these exits at turns 2 and 4 really flatten out quickly from the banking. You have to really be careful not to get yourself into the wall.
Mike Bliss is in that mix with the 40, so is Michael Annette in the 15. That is all for position on the racetrack. Brian Scott 5 points behind our race leader Ricky Stenhouse in the Rookie of the Year battle. He's trying to work his way back up front. Right now he and Annette take the low line, and on the high side here, we'll split in the middle. We're going to try and kick a field goal maybe with Bliss. He thinks better of it.
You can see Michael Annette just looking for somewhere to go. He got a big run off of turn 2 that got him right up in the mix with these cars. Need to get a little bit more air back to the nose of his car. Probably losing the front end just a little bit right at that point.
All this still going on from 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th positions. 3 wide again. Meanwhile, more action a little bit further up. That way we can give it both to you as Martin Truex Jr. is duking it out with Joey Logano.
Now, looks like the adjustments they made on this 99 car has really helped Martin Truex right now.
He gets past Logano and pulls away. Brian Scott on the left side has now opened up the margin on the rest of that group, and now Michael Annette's pushing Stephen Wallace potentially back another position. So Wallace has lost about 3 spots, and he may lose even more because here comes Jeremy McClements. So those 5 have sort of settled down for the moment. There's your race leader by 1.7 seconds over Carl Edwards, with Kyle Busch now running in 3rd. But it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Does he get the big win today? Let's check the motorsports calendar for you now, as NASCAR Now will be on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and the post-race wrap-up at 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. And then our Sprint Cup Series race in Texas presented by GoDaddy.com will be on the air on ESPN at 3 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. And our next stop for the NASCAR Nationwide Series will be at Phoenix. It's presented by Dodge, 4 o'clock Eastern next Saturday on ESPN2. So, as we have beautiful sunshiny day here at Texas Motor Speedway, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has opened up a 2.7 second lead over Kyle Busch. Carl Edwards is back in 3rd spot. Kevin Harvick is 4th. Brad Keselowski rounds out your top 5. We were checking on Kevin Harvick before the break and heard him talk about the vibration so bad he couldn't even see out the mirror. And let's go back to the Craftsman Tech Garage with Tim Brewer. And Tim, what do you have?
Thanks. What we got have here, folks, this is a half-ounce wheel weight. It's so critical to balance these tires to keep the vibrations out of the car. But when you've got a loose wheel, you've got lug nuts possibly missing, but you see how this wheel rocks right here? That's where the wheel's been left loose. Anytime you got a severe vibration like that, you run the risk of either breaking the wheel stud, tearing the center out of the wheel, but in either case, you don't leave a race car driver out on the racetrack in this situation, especially when he's competing for a championship. Guys?
Pretty stern words from Tim. You agree with him there, Crucci?
Well, I mean, he is going for a championship in the Cup Series tomorrow. That's the big prize. Yeah, I still have to say that I would trust Kevin to know whether he needs to come or not.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times that you feel that right after a restart, low air pressures, could have lost that wheel weight, but as the air pressures build up, then that tire finds a way to balance out a little bit more, and it's not as bad. So I would have to trust Kevin's judgment on this. He certainly knows the whole situation.
You see the number 27 of Alex Kennedy. He was the car that had the off-road excursion and hit the wall earlier in practice. It got Brad Keselowski off into the grass as well. Side-by-side action with David Rudiman right in front of him, trying to get around Justin Allgaier. They're still banging on each other. Allgaier, we mentioned the fact that this could be a very big payday for him. if he can't win this race, the one guy he would love to see win it would be Kyle Busch. Here's the reason why. Kyle is not eligible for the $75,000 winner's bonus that is carried over from the other races. He's also not eligible for the year end. Guess who would get it? The highest point scorer, and that would be, as it stands right now, Justin Allgaier, 150,000 big ones.
That's a lot of money for this series, and you know, it's a big prize. If he can't win the race, he's probably hoping that Kyle Busch or somebody ineligible can win it.
Yeah, it would have to be one of the Cup double-duty drivers other than that man right there, Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards. They have run every race. They can claim the $75,000 race bonus. Let's get an update on the 22. How about it, Dr. Jerry Punch?
Marty, a little bit nervous down here in the Brad K pits because about 10 laps ago, Brad radioed in and said, I have a vibration in the right front. And they've been monitoring his radio each successful lap and said, you know, let us know what's going on. And Brad says it isn't getting any worse, but it's also not getting any better. So they are going to watch very, very closely. Brad has backed up his corners and it's sort of backed off a little bit right now, sitting in 5th position. Vince.
Well, and right in front of Brad Keselowski is Kevin Harvick, and we've documented how Harvick thought maybe he had a loose tire after that first pit stop. Well, Harvick is going to come in now, so keep an eye on Kevin Harvick. He's getting ready to make that pit stop. He's tolerated it long enough. We heard the radio with him saying that it was vibrating so badly he couldn't see and use the mirror, and another car getting ready to get around him. So Harvick is coming in to the pits. By the way, his Cup crew pitting him since Charlotte, taking over for the Nationwide guys who had been pitting him.
So the two cars on your screen right there, both of them suffering from a vibration problem. The 33 apparently a bit more serious, but he stays out for another lap. It's Eric McClure in the 24 that they are going around right now. McClure running 33rd position. He's 2 laps down.
Yeah, it's just the hardest thing as a driver. You're sitting there in the top 5, and you know it's not a good thing to stay out there, but you just don't want to give that up, thinking, just hoping that there may be a caution and it not be you.
Find out if Kevin decides to come down this time. Looks like he's still got the hammer down, and he will stay out for another lap. While all this goes on, our race leader is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We can tell you he leads Kyle Busch by 2.4 seconds. The battle for 7th continues as Justin Allgaier and David Rudiman keep going after each other, and boy, Beek gets it a little loose.
What you call a slide job, literally right there. David Rudiman right up in front of Justin Allgaier, but able to keep control.
Let's update you a couple of more cars. James Buescher is officially listed as now out of the race, and Michael McDowell has pulled behind the wall. David Starr is back out on the track. He is 39th, 55 laps down. Keselowski going side by side with Martin Truex Jr. now tucks in behind him, so Truex will hold on to that 5th position. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., a leader. He's led more today than he has in his previous 29 starts combined this season.
Caution out for the 2nd time in the race. Leaders are on pit road, Dave.
Kyle Busch has a slight air pressure adjustment and full of Sunoco fuel. 4 tire change for the leader. Vince?
The 33 of Kevin Harvick, you've heard about his issues with the vibrating car. They're going to put a couple of rounds of in the track bar, 2 rounds down on the track bar. The 60 of Carl Edwards, it's a little too tight, 2 rounds of wedge in the left rear. He really likes his car otherwise. Jamie?
Bottom left of your screen was your leader, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. led 27 laps, but he gets past on pit road, loses 2 positions. It was a track bar adjustment, air pressure adjustment. They filled it up with Sunoco fuel. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. down and away in 3rd, Marty.
So Kyle Busch reclaims the lead on pit road, something he had not been able to do in that run on the racetrack. You check our Nationwide Insurance race off of pit road. Stenhouse back to 3rd position on the run off the pit lane. And the cause of the caution flag for the 2nd consecutive time, debris from a car that had troubles and knocked out the right front, Rusty.
Yeah, he's lost 2 right front tires. It looks like the problem he had earlier affected a thing again that blew another right front tire out. You see debris falling everywhere, so definitely caution's got to come out for all this stuff.
David Starr into the wall earlier. That his 2nd bit of trouble in this race. James Buescher also with a right front problem and a crash that dropped debris and brought out the caution earlier. So Kyle Busch back to the front when we go back racing here in Texas.
Welcome back to the O'Reilly Auto Parts Challenge here at Texas Motor Speedway. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing after our second caution. 3 waiver rounds. Tony Raines, Kenny Wallace, and Robert Richardson Jr. We have a total of 23 cars on the lead lap. Let's reset it for you. Race leader Kyle Busch up front. He's going to take the low line. Carl Edwards alongside, then Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, Harvick, Logano, Ruderman, Almirola, and Sorensen. That is your top 10. Pace car pulls off. Crowd coming to their feet, and we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here at Texas. Getting a little high. He makes it through the corner, though. Still side by side. Now, finally clearing is Kyle Busch.
I don't think Kyle lifted going down in there. Carl Edwards may have breathed it just for a split second. That's all that Kyle needed.
Kyle has been one of 4 leaders today. He's led the most laps so far of anybody, 43. We told you he's already gone over 2,000 laps led for the season in just the 27th race that he's run this year in the Nationwide Series. A little bit further back there, you see Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who has led more laps today than the rest of the year combined, with his total of 27.
Well, you can just see how important pit stops are. You got Kyle Busch out there in clean air. That's the last thing you want to give him. Stenhouse lost a couple of spots while he was out there leading. Now he's struggling to try to get back up to the front. He's actually lost another spot.
Trevor Bayne side by side with Justin Allgaier. Those are the two. Allgaier's first and Bayne is second in that point standing for that bonus money for the Nationwide Dash for Cash.
See Allgaier get really loose as Bayne drove back on the outside of him.
Carl Edwards getting a little bit closer to Kyle on this run for the lead. On the left side, still have the battle between Allgaier and Bayne. Bayne's now got the best of it. Stephen Wallace tucked up right underneath the 12 car. And on the outside, here comes Brendan Gaughan.
Yeah, you can see Stephen Wallace had to get out of the throttle just for a second. Brendan Gaughan's momentum carried him by, and here goes Paul Menard trying to take another spot.
Menard getting back into the mix. He's into the 15th position. He had a tough break. He had to go to the back of the line after the first caution because they had a tire come free in pit road. He's working his way back towards the front now as he's up to 14th. Car Ricky Carmichael, and this is unscheduled, Jamie Little.
Absolutely. He's got a vibration. Hearing a lot about that today. On the left front, they didn't want to take any chances. What they saw with his teammate James Busher earlier, he's going to bring it in, change tires. They're calling for a 4-tire stop right now. Get him back out there, guys. He's been struggling with this car. His first time in the Nationwide car here at Texas.
On the left side of your screen, you can see Martin Truex Jr., Ricky Stenhouse, as Stenhouse goes by and takes over the 3rd spot. So Stenhouse has a good little race car underneath him.
Yeah, he really does. And he did a nice job earlier of not pushing the issue whenever he was trapped down at the bottom. That's not his line.
Battle for 13th. Paul Menard on the move, trying to work his way back to the front. Vince, what's the latest?
Well, Marty, you noted the fact that they had a penalty after having a tire get away on their first stop. Also, during that first stop, they went the wrong way on their adjustments. So when they came back in on that second stop, they had to make an air pressure adjustment and wedge to not only go back on what they had done the first time, but also to make an adjustment to where they would hope would make the car a little bit better, as you see Keselowski and Harvick going at it on the right side.
Yeah, all of a sudden, everybody's getting a little racy. We've got it on both sides of the screen. Harvick has gotten cleared now as Keselowski's gotten around him. On the left side, Reed Sorensen trying to work his way back forward after losing spots on the last round of pit stops. And he was too fast exiting, and he got the penalty there and had to work his way back, and he is. He's now in the 16th position. Right behind him, Michael Annett. You see the 21 of Clint Boyer, the update on him. He is in 18th. What's now going on in that 21 car, Jamie?
Well, he worked his way back up into the top 15, and then this last round of pit stops, he was really tight. They adjusted on the car, but at the same time, Clint said, guys, there's a wire down here hooked to my throttle cable. I don't know what it is. We need to figure it out. He brought the car back in explanation. Let's go to the Craftsman Tech Garage. Tim Brewer, what do you think he's talking about there?
There's only two things hooked to that throttle right here, Jamie. This is the wire that monitors the travel, and NASCAR can tell you exactly where the position of the throttle is throughout the time. But the other, it's a cable that runs here that feeds the information center. But other than that, there's very little pressure that you can put on that right there unless, you know, there's something else dangling down from under the dash. Ain't got a clue what it would be, Jamie. Guys?
All right, thank you, Tim. And right now, battle for third is starting to heat up. Martin Truex is getting a little racy with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. These guys are 1.6 seconds behind our race leader, Kyle Busch, who's now led a total of 52 laps. Here comes Truex again. Truex looks better and better on that low line.
Yeah, he is. Ricky Stenhouse is running a little different line. He's running a little higher, especially on his entry to the corner. We'll watch him here through turns 3 and 4. He stays up throughout the corner here. Down in 1 and 2, he'll turn the car back down and try to drive it straight off of turn 2 so he doesn't mess with that outside wall.
And that momentum carried out and lengthened his lead over Martin. Right behind Martin, of course, is Brad Keselowski, as he is running comfortably in the 5th position. And that would, of course, clinch the championship if he just stays right there. Let's go back and check in on Clint Bowyer. He is now in the 15th spot. Brendan Gaughan is right up on his back bumper. And a little bit further back is Reed Sorensen. You're on board with Clint.
Yeah, Clint seems to be a little bit better this run. I don't know if that's been what's causing his problem all day. See this telemetry, the throttle position you see is it's being driven by what we saw Tim show us in that cutaway car down there in the Craftsman Tech Garage. And you can see whenever he lets off the throttle, it just it activates that sensor so we can see that. And I don't know if they fixed what the problem was, but it seems like he's better right now.
There's the view from outside. Brendan Gaughan, Reed Sorensen. Right behind him, there's Michael Annett coming into view as well. Let's go back and check in on our race leader, because Kyle Busch, as you see, all the way across the track right now, his lead over Carl Edwards is 1.4 seconds, and he's looking to make it 6 straight here at Texas, and he's almost halfway there.
Just past halfway, here's our 5-Hour Energy Rapid Recap. Lap 11, the first trouble of the day. That was David Starr that got a little jam off turn 2, and it ended up collecting Danica Patrick. A little right front damage. The green flag pit stop dropped her 2 laps down. She's running in 29th position. Then the guy that started on the pole had some big trouble.
Yeah, James Buescher just pushing the front end real bad. Finally lost the right front tire. Clobbers the heck out of that wall, Brad. Just tore that car to pieces.
Well, he did.
And so Buescher started first. He will finish 37th. Brad Keselowski trying to clinch the NASCAR Nationwide Series title today, doing what he needs to.
Doing what he does best. He's working his way up towards the front. Currently got himself up to 4th position. Looks like Brad could be poised to win this race by the end of the day.
Well, if he's going to win this race, he's going to have to go a ways to catch that man, Kyle Busch, trying to win a record 6th consecutive Nationwide Series race at this one track. Would be an all-time series record if he does it. Kyle has led the most laps today, got behind for a stretch of race. As you see Keselowski going after 3rd spot here on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Just to finish the Kyle Busch story, got behind when he slid through his pit box on the first stop, got the spot back, the top spot back on the second set of pit stops, and he has not been headed since then. How about this 22 guy, and how about the young kid driving the 6 car, Stenhouse Jr.?
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at right now, Ricky Stenhouse. I mean, this guy week after week's been getting better and better, and we all know the first half of the year was plagued with a lot of rookie mistakes, crashes, stuff like that. But in my book, it looks like he's righted the ship. He's a lot better now, and he's been having good runs in that 6 car.
Yeah, Jack Roush has showed incredible patience with this young man, and even stated earlier in the year that Ricky Stenhouse was going to be a better race car driver by the end of the season, and boy, it's come to fruition.
Guaranteed it.
Guaranteed it.
That's right. He said, I guarantee the results will be better in the second half of the year, and Jack knew what he was looking at.
Can't deny talent.
So that the race for 3rd position. As for now, Stenhouse is able to hold off Brad Keselowski, who continues to try and work the bottom side of that racetrack and pick up that spot.
Tell you what, the track has gotten rougher and rougher as the years go on, but it makes for great racing. You can run on the bottom, the middle, and the top of this racetrack. We've seen Stenhouse working the top side. He's been really working that momentum we talked about in Countdown, where you really got to keep these cars wound up a lot to keep them going fast.
Does he have him there? Does he have him? Nope. Not quite.
I'll tell you what, also Martin Truex Jr. has kind of rolled into the the picture here. He's just kind of stayed around that 5th, 6th position all day long, but he's made himself a part of the conversation. So we're getting top heavy with some really good race cars, but they all got a good ways to go to run down Kyle Busch, just like you said, Alan.
That was Truex a good bit behind. There's still side-by-side race for 3rd place. If you're with us on Countdown, Brad Keselowski basically said anything can happen today. You got to go out and just do your job like you do it, basically, in so many words, all year long. And the job that he's done all year long is run in the top 5 and compete for wins, and he's doing that today after starting a little bit deeper in the field. He took the green flag in 16th spot.
Well, he's already went through all the scary things. That happened on Friday when he had to go through the grass to avoid a car in his Nationwide car. Then he just flat lost it in his Cup car and went flying through grass and tore that car up. So he's probably thinking right now, I want to wrap this title up today. No mistakes, drive smooth, and it appears that's what he's doing right now. He's got a fast car. It's handling well for him. He's in 3rd position. Hey, what else can you ask for right now?
A little move there Brad was familiar with. A pick using the lap car of Robert Richardson. The pick and roll, if you will, there at 190 miles an hour. Now, I mentioned Danica Patrick earlier. Got bounced off of early in the race, made a green flag pit stop, lost a couple of laps. And, David, what's the latest on the 7 car?
Well, trying to school herself on this very fast racetrack, but it hasn't been all that easy. Here were her comments on the radio a few laps ago.
Same thing there. I go to turn into 3 and it doesn't turn. It's like the right front is flat. Because like I was on it when it went up the track, and then it went up the track and I thought it was going to hit the wall. So then I had to get out of it.
One good thing that did happen earlier today, right after the initial trip to pit road that put her laps down, Kevin Harvick passed her and she was able to follow him briefly while he spread around the track and learned a couple of things about the lines going into the corner. So another day of education for Danica Patrick.
And Danica said coming into Texas this weekend, this is all still so new, and she's learning as she goes along, and feels like she is learning so much, but it is still all so new.
Well, I've been watching her speeds on a monitor. She's top 15 speeds right now, so she's got a fast car. She has recovered from that body damage. Looks like at the right front fender, fixing Danica's car from the crash earlier. That wasn't her fault. So the speeds are there. She just got to get the laps back. She's 2 down right now because of that, Brad.
That's going to be a difficult thing. I mean, she's running 31:30s right now, and you know the 6th place car Joe Logano is running 31:30. So she's got the speed. It's just a matter of making that track position back up and the learning experience that's going along with Danica Patrick's entry.
Just something catches your eye as you watch that picture, that shifter lever vibrating.
Yeah, I saw that. That's exactly right.
Brendan Gaughan, 62. Eric Darnell, 16.
Remember, she banged the wall, though, really hard, Alan, or banged that other car, so she's probably got a little bit of could have a bent wheel or something like that, causing that shifter to vibrate just a little bit.
This is a race for 17th and 18th spots. Little side-by-side going on, a little farther back in the field.
Brendan started back in the back and has worked his way up to 17th, picked up about 10 spots. Got a good race car, just back there tooling along, knocking some laps off. He'll get to about 50 to go and go for it.
And here's a guy that's really been on the move. The orange car, David Ruderman, that 11 machine. He took the green flag back in 24th. He's fighting here, trying to hang on to the 7th position. Jason Leffler trying to take that away from him. And Ruderman's had a pretty good roll early going here, Doc, huh?
He's had a great run, Alan. He said the car takes about 8 to 10 laps to take off after a pit stop, and he had driven the car up to 6th position. But last lap, actually 2 laps ago, he bounced it off the wall. He said, I just bounced it off the wall, guys. I have some right rear damage behind the number. He said, but I'm going to stay in the throttle. The car feels good, and I'm going to keep digging. Right now, Ruderman having a really good run here at Texas.
And again, just gave up the 7th spot to Jason Leffler. Ruderman 24th to 8th so far today.
You can see where the right side of his car scraped up a little bit. Ruderman, I'm not talking about, but it doesn't seem to be hurting it. The body's still out in front of the right rear tire, creating the downforce it needs to have. So I think he might have skirted a bullet there.
There's the gap up to the leader, Kyle Busch, who's opened up a 2nd and a 3rd. On 2nd place, Carl Edwards with 83 laps to go in Texas.
A beautiful day here at Texas Motor Speedway with 78 laps to go here in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. And we want to remind you to join ESPN in support of our troops, our wounded warriors, and their families. You can donate $10 by texting USO to 27722 or go to USO.org. Kyle Busch has now led a total of 79 laps here, and you can see he's in a little bit of a lap traffic. The 27 of Alex Kennedy, he is going around him. Alex is now 5 laps down. Joe Nemechek is in front of the race leader right now. Nemechek, 23rd position, about to be 3 laps down.
You can see from that shot, Carl Edwards is not letting Kyle Busch get out nearly as far as he has today. He's only just a second and quarter ahead.
Think Kyle might be playing with him?
I'm not so sure. Maybe.
Well, let's find out what's going on as we go up to speed. It's brought to you by Jack Daniels. First up is Dave Burns.
If you're just tuning in, Kyle is going for 6 in a row at the Texas Motor Speedway in the Nationwide Series. That feat has never been accomplished at any track in Nationwide. The string started with Kyle's first win for this 18 crew, and when he transferred over to Joe Gibbs Racing, so it's kind of special for him. Most recently, he's reported about his race car. It's turning. Translation, the field's in trouble, Vince.
Well, I got to tell you that Carl Edwards feels like he's chasing the guy that he's been chasing all year long. You know, Edwards has finished runner-up 5 times this season, and that's exactly the position he's in right now. Although he's fairly happy with this race car, although says it does feel a little something in the back that he's not quite sure about.
I think we got a little wheel weight or a loose lug nut or something just rumbling in the back, like we got a little bit of something there.
Other than that, Edwards is happy. They've been massaging on the car throughout the day. He says tighten it up just a little more and we'll be real fast. Doc?
And if you just joined our coverage and you're into numerology, there's the 22 car, Brad Keselowski. He's trying to become the 22nd different driver to win the NASCAR Nationwide Series Championship in the 29-year history of the series. He said, all I got to do is finish 21st, but these guys, they want to go out with a victory and a championship. They made a slight air pressure adjustment on the previous stop, and Paul Wolfe told him, we're not going to do much, but whatever you did, according to the driver, it was enough. The car has taken off and now moved all the way up to 3rd spot. Dave.
Martin Truex runs 4th. His car a little bit tight in the center, a little snappy loose from the center off. He's looking for an adjustment and looking to hold off Joey Logano if he can do that. His little brother Ryan is at the track today. Ryan is scheduled to run the final 2 events of this season. That would put him at 8 events run this year. That's too many to be a rookie next year. They're trying to encourage Martin to run the car at Homestead instead of Ryan. Not just so that Ryan can win the Rookie of the Year title next year, but rookies get an extra set of tires all year long during practice, and they'd love to have that advantage for young Ryan next year. Jamie?
And the man trying to take that position from the big brother is Joey Logano. He's used a word like terrible to describe his race car today. Started 10th, and he is the first to tell you this is one of his worst racetracks. Why? Because the overall lack of grip. He likes a tighter feel in his car, and of course, he has been loose all day. But the adjustments as he ducks to the inside are making an improvement. He said this is the best the car has felt all day. Marty?
Thank you, Jamie, as these two continue to go side by side. Joey not able to clear him, and here comes Ryan right back on him. And he gets clear space in return, but not for long, because Joey's down on that bottom. They're going to split the 27 car of Alex Kennedy. And Joey is out in front. Pit stops are now happening. Dave Ruderman. Doc?
We told you he had bounced it off the wall when he was running 6th. He had dropped all the way back to 13th position. He said the car had just gotten so very tight because of tagging the wall. He decided to come in and pit a little bit early, put 4 tires, take a look at the right side damage, fill it up with fuel, and they're going to go back around and pull those fenders out on the right front and right rear. He said the car was so tight he couldn't get it to turn. Now he is down on the way. He will have to pit once more between now and the checkered flag.
So he is the first to make the 2nd round of pit stops under green flag conditions. And he was off sequence just a little bit further. So we're going to step aside quickly because the rest of the field, including our race leader, should be heading for pit road soon with 69 laps to go at Texas. Back here at Texas Motor Speedway, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Challenge at Texas with 65 laps to go. Our race leader is Kyle Busch. We'll tell you that during the break, the 6 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. made a pit stop, and he had dropped back to 10th before the stop. There he is back out on track. What was going on, Jamie? He was falling like a rock.
He absolutely was. He was complaining the car was getting extremely tight, especially in the sun. Well, most of this track is still in the sun, so the car is just going away. They decided to bring him in a little bit early. 1.5 rounds out on the left rear. Wedge we're talking about here. 4 tires for Ricky Stenhouse, trying to get him back up there.
He is 19th right now, 1 lap down. One of 2 cars that is a lap down. Stephen Wallace is the other. There are only 17 cars right now on the lead lap. And there you see our race leader. He's got a little bit more company because Carl Edwards is closed, guys.
See how much Carl is closed in. He run a little higher line than what Kyle Busch has been running. It's allowed him to close up here in just a couple of car lengths.
Kyle right now has led a total of 95 laps. With 62 to go, we can tell you he has clinched the most laps led.
Again.
Ooh, little wiggle there.
They make these green flag stops. They should be able to make it to the end. It's like Kevin Harvick's making his now.
Wait to see if, looks like the 60 is going to pull down as well. Here comes Harvick. Vince?
Well, the 33 of Kevin Harvick, he's been frustrated throughout the course of the day. Said he felt like they had a bad adjustment on the first pit stop. They dropped the lug nut on the second pit stop. And remember, these are his Cup guys going over the wall during this nationwide race today. So they're going to work on the car a little bit more today, trying to get it to his liking. Dave?
As a 4-tire pit stop going on, really tight this run. 4 tires and adjustments. He's gone. Vince?
60 of Carl Edwards is in. Carl said he thought he maybe had a tire going down. The car's just a little bit loose. They're going to make a track bar adjustment for Carl. He says if you can snug it up just a little bit, I think we're going to be real good. Dave?
Here comes your leader. Kyle Busch is on pit road. He hits his marks perfectly this time. Angles in just a little bit. There will be a wedge track bar. Looks like a wedge adjustment now for the 18. He was saying it was turning just a little bit, but they're trying to keep up with it. 4 tire stop for Kyle. Remember, on and off pit road, the key at this point during green flag stops. Shelby Howard is in and gone. There goes Leffler. The 18 is gone as well, Doc.
38 car, Jason Leffler, running just outside the top 5 in 6th position. So the car is sliding a nose, coming up off the corner, very, very tight. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment and put 4 tires on it. Jason said, all I want is a top 10 or top 5 finish these last 3 races to build momentum for next year. He is down and away. Here comes Brad Kay, our points leader and possible champion when his day is done. The car was really, really good when they made only a very mild adjustment last stop. Only a slight air pressure change. They pull a tear off the windshield. Left side tires going on. They top it off with Sunoco fuel. Should be the final stop if we stay green. Dave.
Martin Truex is on pit road. He got a wedge adjustment full of fuel, 4 tires, and he's out of here. Jamie.
Joey Logano's in. As I've been saying, he's free. They're going to go down on the track bar, wedge adjustment, 4 tires. He's down and away.
There's the 12 of Justin Allgaier. Allgaier's been fighting a loose race car throughout much of the day, and then after the first stop, it was a little bit too tight. He says that right now that it's a little bit better without hurting. He got to turn a little bit better without hurting the entry. That was his concern, so they're going to make an air pressure adjustment, 4 tires for Justin Allgaier.
Stop completed for Allgaier on the right side of your screen. Our race leader, Eric Almirola. He is our 6th different leader. We've had a total of 6 lead changes. And Allgaier, along with Joe Nemechek, pulled back out onto the track. You notice Almirola signaling to everyone behind him. Left hand out the window. I think he's coming this time. He'll slow down to 45 miles an hour and make the long trip down pit road. Let's send it to Dave Burns.
And it's actually a quick stop, Marty. The long trip will be after he makes this 4-tire stop. His car was much better on this run. He was pretty happy with it running 8th before the round of pit stops started. He said you made it turn a lot better. They'll change 4 tires, fill up full of fuel, and get him back out there.
And you're right, Dave, it being the first pit in, a very short in, but a very long out, and it's 45 miles an hour as he makes his way back out onto the track. What it means is that Kyle Busch will cycle through and maintain or regain the race lead. Battle for 6th right now, as there is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. going after each other. And Stenhouse, this stop really helped him.
Yeah, they did that right. You know, they got lucky and did not catch a caution during this cycle, and so they made that early stop. They were running about 10th place now you see him running in 6th, so they made up a little ground with those new tires when nobody else had them for a few laps.
Yeah, the problem is, did he come in too early? Will he be able to stretch enough fuel here if we happen to go green?
Well, if it does go green, I think he will have to make another pit stop. That's the only negative.
Stenhouse pitted on lap 134. Our race leader, Kyle Busch, 6 laps later at lap number 140. Kyle trying to write another page of history here at Texas Motor Speedway. He's got 55 laps to go. Well, we're under our 3rd caution, and we had debris. Big brake duct was right in the middle of the race line. They've already been out and picked it up, and we're waiting to see if anybody is going to stop. And Carl Edwards fakes, but doesn't come. What do you think, crew chief?
Well, they just pitted 5, 6, 7 laps ago, depending on which car you're talking about. Looks like Kevin, he was one of the earlier ones that pitted. He's still going to stay out there. I thought maybe we'd see some of the cars at the back half come in. See these 4 cars making a pit stop.
David Ruderman, Reed Sorensen, Brendan Gaughan, and Michael Annett. And those guys are on the lead lap. Dave?
Well, Reed's car most of the day has been pretty tight. They're just going to top it off with fuel right now and make it to the end. Remember, they were one of the earlier ones to pit on lap 139 before. Doc?
And David Ruderman, they're going to work on the right side. You see him using a sledgehammer for a minor adjustment on that right front fender. They pulled out the right rear, and they said the car just a little bit too snug here because of the damage. Going to put a little bare bond tape, I think, on the right rear if they get time, and get him back out.
We can tell you Eric Darnell is going to get the lucky dog. That'll give us a total of 19 cars on the lead lap, and we'll go back green when we come back. This week on ESPN's Monday Night Football, Big Ben and the Steelers head to Cincinnati. They'll face Terrell Owens and the Bengals. They're hungry for a win over the division leader. Steelers-Bengals, ESPN's Monday Night Football at 8:30 Eastern. Our coverage begins at 7 Eastern. Monday Night Countdown. It's served by Applebee's. Right now, it's Kyle Busch in front of Carl Edwards. We're about to close out our 3rd caution. Let's get an update on Edwards. Vince?
Well, if Kyle Busch is to win his 6th straight here at Texas, he's probably going to have to beat Carl Edwards to do it. Listen to this radio transmission from Edwards.
Carl? Yes, sir. Carl said he's driving right there. He didn't know how you was keeping up with him, but yeah, he's worried about you now, just so you know. Good. I'm just kind of cruising, so we'll race with him pretty good here, I think.
Edwards has been real confident of his race car throughout the course of the day, and of course this is a nice difference from what it was a year ago here. Remember, they broke an axle exiting their pit box, ended up finishing 30th when we were here in April, and Carl hasn't led a lot of laps here, 11 races here, just 11 laps led coming into today, but he's been up front all afternoon, Marty.
That's 11 laps total in his nationwide career here, you're right. And it wasn't one of the guys that we picked.
I know, we picked Kevin Harvick. We thought he would be the guy that might be able to beat Kyle Busch, but it looks like it might be at Carl Edwards.
All right, let's reset it for you. It is Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Martin Truex, Ricky Stenhouse, Leffler, Harvick, Bain, Almirola. We're green. Another good restart for the 18.
Yeah, Carl said he was just cruising. You know, I found sometimes whenever you're cruising, that's when you go better, and then you start trying to really make that pass, and car doesn't drive quite as good. We'll see if Carl can make it happen here today, though.
Brad Keselowski took a peek underneath the 60. Martin Truex just behind Keselowski. 47 laps remaining. Remember, Kyle Busch won the truck race last night. He almost pulled off the triple here last year. He won the truck race, won last year's nationwide race, and ran out of gas with 3 to go while leading the Cup race. And here we go with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Joey Logano, and that is for 5th.
Looks like Stenhouse's car is back the way it was a little earlier in the race when he was dominant.
Of course, Stenhouse leading in the Rookie of the Year points battle.
Okay, here Carl's going for the lead.
Carl's taking a peek on the inside. Keselowski's got the best seat in the house right behind him, and Carl makes it look easy. So Carl Edwards jumps to the race lead here now with 45.5 laps to go.
You know, and Brad Keselowski in that 22 has been steadily moving up to the front. He might have something for him here at the end.
Side by side, Stenhouse and Joey Logano still going after each other. That is for 5th. Jason Leffler, and there's Kevin Harvick right behind. That's 7th and 8th place. And Trevor Bayne. Bayne right now right ahead of Justin Allgaier. Those are the two that are duking it out for the $75,000 year-end bonus for the Nationwide Dash for Cash. Allgaier leads by 32 points coming into today's race. That's going to go to the wire, it looks like. What's also going to go to the wire may be our race win and a page of history, because Carl Edwards is trying to deny Kyle Busch that 6th straight.
You know, a lot of drivers we might would have said, well, he maybe just wanted to see where he was getting beat or something like that. But we know how much Kyle Busch likes to be out front. I think that right now Carl just has the best race car here.
Brad Keselowski closing on the 18. They come across the stripe now, 43 laps to go. Edwards had the fastest lap of the top 3. Keselowski the 2nd fastest. And the 18 was the slowest of the 3.
Yeah, and what I'm saying with Kyle Busch, his car's not getting through the center of the corner right now. See, once you see if Brad Keselowski can really get back to the throttle quicker, he really ran up on the back bumper of Kyle Busch down in 1 and 2. So it looks like Kyle's just having a hard time with his car and this set of tires.
Dude, I can't go that fast. I'm trying.
Well, you heard Kyle say, I can't go that fast.
Don't hear that much.
They have been dialed on this racetrack. You heard in Countdown, Alan and the crew talking about the fact he led 810 of the previous 1,000 laps. That's right, 81%. And he's led 107 today.
It's like Brad's going to get a run on him right here off turn 4.
He's inside of him, coming down across the stripe. 41 laps to go. And Keselowski may bump him back to 3rd. Little wiggle for the 18.
It's a hard pass to complete right here on the bottom.
Kyle almost has a car length back on him, but here comes Brad through turn 3. And the guy who's loving all this is Carl Edwards. He's opened up almost an 0.8 of a second lead.
Now let's see if Kyle, he's able to stay in front of the 22 now. See if he uses that. Sometimes you get forced into situations that move you around on the racetrack, and it actually will pick you up some.
On board with Kyle.
Well, you can hear just how quick he gets back to the throttle.
Now 39 laps to go, and the lead is now 1.1 seconds. Let's check back a little bit further, because here comes Justin Allgaier. As Allgaier's gotten on this horse, he's now up to 9th, closing on Harvick and Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse has started to fall back just a little bit again. Looks like he's still struggling with his race car. See Harvick trying to take that spot away now.
And that white 17, that is Trevor Bayne. Remember, that's that big, important Nationwide Dash for Cash. If Allgaier can just stay ahead of Bayne, he's guaranteed at least $75,000. And if Kyle Busch were to win this race, he's ineligible for the other $75,000, and that would go to Allgaier if he can stay right there. Still have 38 laps to go before this one's going to be decided. And you better believe Trevor Bayne's thinking about that bonus money, because here he comes. He's looking down low underneath the 12.
Trevor Bayne doing a really nice job in this Jack Roush car. He has only had a few races there to work with these guys at Roush Racing. Certainly making the most of it.
Clint Boyer showing a little life as we go back to the battle for 2nd. Kyle Busch still trying to hold off a charging Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, I'm like you, Dale. Right there in turns 1 and 2 in the middle, Kyle Busch lost a lot of ground to the 22 car. Looks like Brad might have another run at him. We'll see what he can do down here in 1 and 2.
They are 1.2 seconds behind the race lead.
This is where Kyle really struggled last lap. He kind of worked it out there.
Yeah, he's really trying to search around to see what he can do, but he's just losing a tenth and a half every lap.
Dave, you got an update on Kyle Busch?
Even when they were way out front, Marty, they were technicians, a little wiggle right there, working on this race car. Kyle working on his line. Jason Ratcliffe working on what he might do to make the car better. And as he continues to get the pressure from Brad Keselowski, his car has gone a little bit to the tight side. Jason told me something yesterday. He said, we're pretty confident about the setup of our car, but what will a warmer racetrack do on race day? That's always a mystery. And right now, it's gotten the 18 to the point where it's a little bit tight. He wants the track bar back up a little bit.
And he's 1.4 seconds behind now.
Yeah, and if this race goes green, he's not going to make another pit stop to be able to adjust on that car. He's going to have to really search around on the racetrack, try to find a groove. You see, that's what Brad Keselowski's doing right now.
Well, we are on pace for a record-setting low number of cautions. The old record, current record, is 4. We've had 3 today. That last green flag run before our third caution, 62 laps. That's what 1.3 seconds looks like. That's the margin this time. A little bit further back, here comes Clint Boyer as he's trying to make a charge on Eric Almirola. That is for 12.
Yeah, you see Almirola going around Ricky Stenhouse, going to the inside, trying to make that pass. Stenhouse car just going away from him once again. Clint Boyer's been probably running higher than anybody else on the racetrack on both ends. He's making it work right now.
Ricky led 27 laps today. But right now, it looks like his chance to become a first-time winner here at Texas is slipping through his fingers. Getting word that you notice Eric Almirola and the 21 of Clint Boyer, a little contact. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, this is that high line that Clint was running, had a big run, and Eric Almirola didn't realize just how quickly he was coming, slid up in front.
How about the battle for 7th right now? Kevin Harvick and Justin Allgaier. And there's Trevor Bayne lurking right behind. This has got so many subplots to it today. Championship possibility for Brad Keselowski if he just continues to run where he's at. Kyle Busch, if he can win the race, makes history, and a big payday for one of those two guys, either the 12 or the 17. Here comes Bayne on the high side of Harvick. So Harvick's car not going in the right direction either. Let's go back to the battle for second. Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski.
Now, I've seen Kyle Busch really search around the racetrack and found a few laps there. He found some speed, but every now and then you see a car slip just a little bit in turns 1 and 2.
You can tell he's really fighting a tight situation. It hurts him right in the center, and when he gets back to the gas a little too quickly, then it shoves the nose on the exit of the corner, and Brad Keselowski gets a big run on him.
Keselowski right now in that 3rd spot. He entered today with 23 top 5 finishes in the 2010 season. If he can finish in the top 5 in the final 3 races, he would set a new record for most nationwide series top 5 finishes in a season. Let's get an update from Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, they are counting the laps down here in the 22 pit, Marty, and there is a very nervous mom down here watching. Kay Keselowski there watching her son a moment ago came over to me with a very quivering voice and said, "We have waited a lifetime for this moment." She is watching, covering her face intermittently, turning around, spinning circles as he goes by. She knows how much this family and her son in particular have wanted what could happen over the next few laps here if he realizes that dream and wins a championship. How special for a family here today.
Well, Doc, I know you remember the Truck Series days when it was Brad's father, Bob, carrying the Dodge banner, and Kay was his spotter up top for him. And, boy, they struggled hard and put in a lot of hours, and you're right, this is a big moment for everybody in that family.
Yeah, they've literally made racing, it has been their life, and Brad's done just really a terrific job since with every opportunity that he's gotten. He's done it his way, he's driven hard, and very well deserving of this championship.
Sort of holding station right now in that 3rd position, has not put the pressure on for the last few laps on 2nd place Kyle Busch. Kyle has fallen 1.7 seconds behind Carl Edwards, and just as I say he's not putting the pressure on, here he comes again.
Putting the pressure on. Here we go. We got to run.
He does. He's got him on the high side this time.
Might have him now.
They come across the stripe. 26 laps to go, heading for turn 1. Can he carry the momentum And can he take second place away from Kyle Busch?
I'd say Kyle's going to have a tough time with the tight situation of his car, carrying the momentum off the corner that he's going to need. Running side by side will only make that worse if you do it for a couple of laps, too.
The lead is now 2 seconds because...
He's not giving up, though. He slid up in front of Brad. What a job Kyle's doing right here. I mean, I thought Brad had him right. After he got up on the outside, that Kyle wouldn't be able to come back on the inside.
Some great racing between these two. But like we pointed out, it's allowing Carl Edwards to open up the lead. It's now 2 seconds. Brad's going to try that middle line again. There you can see Carl at the bottom of your screen, the margin back to second and third. Let's check in once again on Justin Allgaier and Trevor Bayne. Remember, these two have a lot at stake as well, and they are glued to each other. This is 7th and 8th position. Bayne knows he has to get around him, too. Were you ever in that position when you were Bayne's age? Big payday on the line? Can you imagine?
No, definitely not. No. I don't think I was even driving a race car when I was this age.
Certainly weren't any big paydays that I can remember.
Vince,
$35, wasn't it?
Vince, what do you have?
Allgaier really liked his race car throughout the course of this week. In fact, says it had the drivability that he really hasn't had here in the past. So he was optimistic that he would have a good day today. And they've really been running well. 5 straight top 10s. In fact, he was 3rd each of the last 2 races. So they anticipated having a solid day today. Says the car's a little bit tight, but okay. Hasn't complained much today at all, other than loose, loose, loose that first stint.
Well, they're side by side right now. The 19-year-old Trevor Bayne, the 24-year-old Justin Allgaier. Oh, so close for both of them. Remember, Allgaier has a 32-point lead in that nationwide dash for cash. And we may need the officials to figure this out if Bayne can get ahead of him.
It just shows the type of talent that we're going to have for a few years to come in this nationwide series, too, because both of these young men have shown that they have the capabilities of driving these cars fast and up front.
Justin Allgaier enters this race with a 5-race streak of top 10 finishes. He's never finished in the top 10 in 6 straight. Right now, he has that chance. He's running 7th. While that battle has settled down, let's go back up front. Check in on Carl Edwards because his lead is now up to 2.2 seconds, guys, and I think we're all surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't think he would be the one that would be challenging Kyle Busch, and actually out in front of him now. Just, like I say, pulled him up over 2 seconds. Vince, he's got that 60 car rolling.
Boy, he sure does. And you know, after Gateway a couple of weeks ago, Carl was pretty vocal about the fact that he felt they were down on horsepower. Well, they actually took the motor out of this car that they were planning to run in this 60 machine here today. They took that motor out and put in one of Carl's favorite motors. And been quite interesting. He hasn't complained at all about power this weekend. And we're seeing some power out of the 60 today.
See why it's his favorite motor.
Of course, Carl will start 3rd in the Cup race tomorrow. And boy, what a way to go into it if he can hold on for this win. 2-second lead over Kyle Busch. Saw the hand gesture.
And I promise you, you start talking anything about a little lack of horsepower, Doug Yates takes that personally. You know, I know that Carl wasn't calling Doug out, but he was just saying, yeah, he felt like that's maybe where they were getting beat a little bit, and nobody better than Doug and his team of people building engines there for these Fords.
Next time by, we will have 17 laps to go. And while it looks like Kyle may not get his page of history, the man right behind him is.
Well, I'm not so sure. I'm looking at this gap now is down to 1.77 seconds on the lead. I know Carl's been in a little bit of traffic, but Kyle Busch has been relentless on trying to find a line and speed here, and he looks like he's found something.
We'll keep tabs on that, and of course, you see Brad taking it easy there, and he gets the hand gesture from Robert Richardson saying, go down low. I'll give the spot to you. Richardson is 28th place right now. He is 4 laps down.
Yeah, and you can see Brad probably a little easier right there, knowing the situation, knowing if he just can finish out these last 16 laps that he's going to be the nationwide champion.
Parker Kligerman also gets past. In fact, Kligerman and Richardson, look out, that is for position. They're both 4 laps down, and he gets turned.
Okay, it's a new race here.
And that's exactly what Kyle Busch wanted to see. This is going to tighten this up with now 15 laps to go next time by.
Yeah, you hear Carl
Keep it rolling. Get it rolling if you can. It looks like we hit pretty hard right there.
Now, these two were battling for position, albeit 4 laps down.
Yeah, you can see the 42 car hit one of those bumps that we've talked about down in turns 1 and 2. That caused him to go up the track a little bit, get out of the throttle. Then there was a little contact, it looked like.
Actually did a pretty good job not to hit any harder than he did. Almost missed that inside wall.
Yeah, you can see right there as he had to chase it up the track. Hard to tell if there was contact, but it just seemed like there was a little, just as he had to get out of the throttle and go up, catch it.
So we've now tied our lowest number of cautions here at Texas Motor Speedway in the NASCAR Nationwide Series with our 4th. And we mentioned the fact that Kyle Busch certainly wanted to see this because it wiped out about a 2-second lead that Carl Edwards had built up. And now, what do you do, crew chief?
Well, I think this plays into Kyle Busch's hands.
Tires worn up on the track.
His pit crew is one of the best on pit
down
road.
in the left rear.
They're going to make a 4-tire change here. You heard him talk.
Yeah, and then he's one of the best on these restarts.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and the
big car moving.
The other question is, remember, we only have 5 sets of tires on race day. Does anybody have fresh tires left out there that is going to be coming in? They should.
Yes, they've got tires left.
Almost a jam up as they came down pit road. All right, Dave, set us up.
Marty, you heard the adjustments for a car that was killed in the center, according to the driver. Very tight. 4 fresh sticker tires and full of Sunoco fuel. Doc?
Money stop, maybe a championship stop for Brad Keselowski. Slight air pressure adjustment. Right side tires going on. They will change left as well. Vince.
Middle of your screen, Carl Edwards. It's just a little bit free. They're going to put 1 round a wedge in the left rear, 4 sticker tires. Jamie.
And Joey Logano too tight now. Wants to go back on those last adjustments, going up on the track bar. 4 tires. He's down and away.
At our nationwide insurance race off pit road, it's Edwards, Busch, Keselowski holding station. Michael Annett takes 2 tires and picks up a bunch. Truex loses 2 during his 4-tire stop. And notice Harvick, he did not gain anything on pit road again. So as we take a commercial break, we'll focus on Carl Edwards' crew as they're trying to deny Kyle Busch a page of history. Saturday night football continues with a Pac-10 showdown as we've got 15th ranked Arizona against 13th ranked Stanford. It's Saturday night football presented by Southwest Airlines on ABC. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Now, Son of the Nation will see the Missouri Tigers against Texas Tech. Go to ESPN.com, search maps to see where you can find your game. Back here at Texas, we have about 12 laps to go. It'll be 11 next time by as we're in our 4th caution. And let's talk to our in-race reporter, Brad Keselowski.
Hey, Brad, Dale Jarrett, ESPN. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you've made a steady move forward all day long. Now it's getting down time to win this race. And we heard you got a perfectly matched set of tires there, so you got those. But are you thinking more about winning this race right now or the championship?
Well, I'm thinking about my crew chief, Paul, a.k.a. Harry Hyde. Wolf. I hope he's right. We'll see. I'm going to give it all I got.
Do you think that by what you've seen, we've seen the 60 and the 18 pretty much be the dominant cars, but do you have something for them, you think?
Yeah, I do. I think we had something for the 18 and 60 there. The adjustment we made to stop before last seemed to really get us going. So, you know, it's clean air. We got to make our move. We got to make it quick. And if we can get to the clean air, I think we'll be color and be gone.
All right, buddy. You've done a great job today, just like you have done all year. Go get them.
Thanks, guys.
Well, one guy stayed out on the lead lap, and that was Trevor Bayne. And he is going to be shown as the race leader.
The lane he picks is going to be critical on this restart. If he picks the inside lane, that's going to kind of hang Kyle Busch behind him.
Now, the significance of Bain obviously staying out, this is his one and only chance, really, to get ahead of Justin Allgaier in this points for that year-end bonus in the Nationwide Dash for Cash. Allgaier did stop. He's going to restart in about the 12th position. Let's get a listen on Joey Logano's radio.
Go to the top. Don't be scared. Make it 3 wide. There's plenty of air up there for no car in front of you.
That's easy to say.
Way to find it. Yeah.
That's easy to say, but he's on the inside.
That guy that said it was on the pit box. That's real easy from there.
All right, let's reset it for you. It is Bain up front with Edwards, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Michael Annett, Truex, Leffler, Almirola, and Harvick. That is your top 10. 4 waiver rounds. Joe Nemechek, Robert Richardson, Kenny Wallace, Eric McClure. Stephen Wallace got the lucky dog. He's the 20th car on the lead lap. And there is Roger Penske on the verge of his first ever NASCAR championship. And the man at the wheel sitting in 4th position for him in that 22, Brad Keselowski. Pace car is pulled off. Trevor Bain leads the field down, and we are back to green flag racing. There'll be 10 laps to go here at Texas. And look at Kyle cutting to the inside.
What a move.
Oh, Bain is getting shuffled.
Yeah, that was the only thing that Kyle Busch did, and he pulled it off to perfection. He knew that Trevor Bain was going to have a hard time on those older tires. Here comes Carl Edwards back on the high side.
Side by side as they're going to head into 3, and there's a log jam behind him. Looking at 3 wide with Harvick in the middle back there as well.
Carl's able to get it.
Go off turn 4.
Carl Edwards is going to be your race leader with 9 laps to go. Kyle Busch is in 2nd. Right now, looks like Joey Logano and Brad are going to duke it out for 3rd.
See Brad able to get a nice run off of turn 2 and get that 3rd spot.
You saw 38 of Jason Leffler whip out around the 17 of Trevor Bain. Bain is dropping like a rock.
We still got 8 laps to go this time, so plenty of time for Kyle Busch to mount a charge on Carl.
He has opened up a 3/10 of a second lead. A little bit further back, Kevin Harvick side by side with Bain. Almirola right behind him. Clint Boyer, Ricky Stenhouse in that mix as well. Whoa! A lot of guys slipping and sliding coming out of 2. Everybody gathers it up. Harvick was one of those that got a little loose. He's still trying to complete the pass on Trevor, and I think he's got him this time. He does.
Well, Trevor Bain just kind of a sitting duck with those older tires there. See Clint Boyer trying to move forward past Almirola there.
These are the fastest laps of the race with these new tires on the leaders down in the low 29-second bracket.
The only good news for Bain is Allgaier is still back in 14th. He dropped a couple of spots.
3 wide here.
Clint Boyer, Reed Sorensen. The man in the middle is Eric Almirola. Bain goes to the high side, and he's getting past some more. And there comes the 12 of Allgaier. So that's the best news for Allgaier fans in that Dash for Cash bonus. We'll tell you up front, Carl Edwards still leads by half a second. This is where all the action is right this moment. There goes the race leaders. As next time by, we will have 5 laps remaining here at Texas. Reed Sorensen hugging the bottom. Getting underneath Eric Almirola. And Sorensen going to take over the 9th position. A little bit further back, there is Bain and Allgaier with Eric Darnell in the mix as well. That is all 4 position. 13th, 14th, and 15th. Brian Scott also in there. Oh, contact into the wall. It's Brian Scott.
Hard contact, too.
Will it bring out another caution?
You see a lot of pieces coming off of that car. Looks like brake rotor parts there.
If the caution doesn't come out, we need to look for trouble when they get there. Somebody else might try to tie it down.
4 laps remaining. So far, we are staying green.
Last 2 laps. Kyle Busch has outrun Carl Edwards by just a little.
You can see the difference on your screen. Here goes Allgaier trying to get around Bain. Bain trying all he can to hang on.
I think the 21 car might have run over.
Yeah, he got a piece of that debris now.
Yeah, trouble for the 21 on the front straightaway. Smoke coming from the right front. So it looks like the final race for Clint Boyer And the Richard Childress Racing Organization in
Now
the
the
21
caution's out.
is not going to be the kind of finish they wanted, and you're right, Andy. The 5th caution flag flies.
Well, when you have parts flying off a car like we saw with Brian Scott,
oil up high off of 4.
those are heavy-duty brake parts that are out there. You can't see them that well, but they cause a lot of damage.
You heard the radio saying green-white checker.
I'm not sure that Kyle Busch doesn't have a problem.
Yeah, what was that sound?
Yeah.
We were on the onboard there.
So a lot of cars ran through that debris. I don't know if Kyle got any of it or not.
Right side tires are up. Everything looks to be okay from the outside. It did sound awful when we went on board with him.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Sounds like something flapping in there.
Well, let's go back and show you exactly the first incident.
Yeah, once again, off of turn 2, where this track really flattens out. He had no air to the nose of his car. It just pushed out and got into the wall twice.
On board, Justin Allgaier.
All clear. In the fence behind you, no caution.
And then here's the reason for the caution with Clint Boyer.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where the smoke is coming from. Under the hood, obviously somewhere, but coming out of the wheel. Maybe an oil cooler.
And Jason Radcliffe's reaction. He wants that yellow because he wants his driver to have one more chance on the restart. And he will get it. Our second green-white checker here at Texas. The other one was back in April of 2006. So we'll get one more shot at this. We'll see what happens. Whether or not Kyle can get back into front, or does Carl hold on?
NASCAR Nationwide Series at Texas is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. And Craftsman, the official tools of NASCAR.
Well, welcome back to the O'Reilly Auto Parts Challenge at Texas. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. We're getting ready to wrap up our 5th caution. Gives us a chance to talk about the ticket to the race. Only 2 more left on the schedule. We'll be at Phoenix next week. And, of course, the season ender at Homestead, Miami. Just go to NASCAR.com/tickets. Now, it looks like we may have our champion crowned today. Doc, he's running 3rd, and his crew chief, how nervous?
Well, let's talk to Paul Wolf, alias Harry Hogg from Days of Thunder. You heard your driver call you. All right, Paul, you told your driver you had a perfectly matched set of tires. Do they have something for the 18 and the 60 on this green-white checker?
I think so. It's just hard, you know, the 3 cars there are just so equally matched. It's who gets the run and the momentum gets out front. So, you know, we got one more shot at it here. He's not saying a whole lot. There's not much more we can do now. That was our last adjustment. So, you know, he's not really communicating. I think he's just thinking about what he needs to do to have a shot at it. So, just real proud of the effort this weekend. All the guys worked hard on this discount tire Dodge. We had the issues in practice, and a lot of hard work went into fixing the car back. And to be sitting here with a shot to win this thing is pretty cool. So, just a good day.
All right, he may look calm, folks, but inside he is anything but. Dave.
Jason Radcliffe, crew chief for Kyle Busch, got the caution he needed. Does Kyle have the car he needs to win this thing?
Well, you know, the car, he hasn't really complained all day. We started the race really strong. Our Z-Line Designs Toyota was good, and we worked on it a little bit. Just these other guys have you know, gotten their stuff a lot better as well. We just need like you said, we needed that caution to get another shot at it. The guy that gets his nose out in the clean air is going to be the guy that gets it done. So I'm just glad we got another opportunity.
All right, we'll see who can get the nose out front, guys.
And let's go back to the last restart, because we still got at least one more lap. Lights are still on the pace car, and let's analyze it, guys.
Well, Kyle Busch timed it perfectly. You see right here, takes it 3 wide underneath Trevor Bayne. What a move he made. But Carl Edwards just works that outside so well in 3 and 4 especially. He was able to clear him.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle Busch was going to be able to clear right here, so it'd be interesting to see when Carl has the choice. Is he going to take the inside or the outside? And it looks like right now he's going to go to that inside.
Let's listen to the radio.
I believe if you start on the bottom there, Carl, he'll hold you down, try to take the speed away from you, you know.
Yeah, but they got more power, so if he starts on the bottom, he might clear me, you know, he might clear me off the corner. So, tough to say.
Yep, you're right. I'm listening to him.
That's a tough call right there.
Well, it'll be our 10th green-white checker this season. Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch have combined won 7 of the prior 9 green-white checkers this season.
Yeah, that's Mike Beam, the crew chief you see with the hat on. Right beside him is Drew Blickensdorfer, another one of the crew chiefs at Roush. He's the 6th crew chief in the Cup side.
Kyle Busch making his 200th career nationwide start today, trying to write another page of history here at Texas. Carl Edwards, not going to win a championship, just wants to deny Kyle and take home the trophy. And the man in 3rd place, Brad Keselowski, all he has to do is just finish right where he is, and he will win his first championship.
Yeah, but he's got something else in mind here. If that 18 does hold the 60 down here, like they were talking about, then we may be 3 wide off of turn 2.
Yeah, and he was watching when Kyle Busch made it 3 wide on that restart. Now he's in that spot. He might try it himself.
All right, pace car has pulled off. Green-white checker, the 2nd one ever here. The other time in April of 2006, the winner was Kurt Busch. Green flag flies, and boy, what a start by Edwards.
Man, Carl, that's a big jump there.
A huge jump.
A lot of dust flying down there. Looked like there was some smoke, but I believe it's dust from all the speedy drive.
Kyle trying to make a run off of 2.
Keselowski holding station in 3rd with Joey Logano on his high side. They're duking it out now for that position. But the battle is for the race win up front, and Edwards got a huge jump, and he is making it pay for him.
Yeah, Kyle tried to go to the high side there, see if he could make a big run. That cost him a lot of time.
White flag out, 1.5 miles to go. Carl Edwards looking for win number 3 of 2010. He's not going to win the championship, but it looks like he's going to win this race. Down the backstretch, Kyle Busch not going to be able to even give him a challenge. And the man in 3rd, the butterflies in his stomach have got to be just enormous. Carl comes and takes the checker.
Job, buddy. Come get the checkered flag.
And here comes your champion. Brad Keselowski finishes 3rd and takes it home here at Texas with 2 races remaining. The 26-year-old from Rochester Hills, and look at Mom. She can breathe again.
Well, certainly a big day for this family. Just a terrific season by Brad Keselowski. This entire team.
Thank you.
It is the first NASCAR championship for Penske Racing, the first Dodge driver to win a Nationwide Series championship. And when we come back, we've got a lot of celebrating to do here at Texas. We'll talk to our champion. We'll talk to Carl, our race winner. All of it when we come back. And I'm just told we're going to stay here because of what we're about to see. We've only seen it 2 other times this year from Carl. As he'll climb out, and fans are waiting as well. Now we can go to commercial break. The fans love it. We'll be back to talk to all of them. Stay with us. We're having a blast. Hope you are too. Can you tell where Brad Keselowski did his burnout from that view? Yes, sir. He has been celebrating since we stepped aside. And there he is in the smoke with the American flag and the fans standing and cheering. And a very poignant moment as Carl Edwards was out on the finish line as Brad came by, and let's show you that moment. Carl got the flag, and this was new. I mean, Elio Castroneves started Spider-Man, and now Carl says, well, let's go up in the stands and celebrate.
Check it out. Rows up here. Join the fans.
High fives all the way around. Hugs from a guy he doesn't even know.
You gotta love this.
And then, as we mentioned, he came back down, and there was Brad coming back, and they congratulate each other, 1st and 2nd in the points, with the new champion then just blistering those hides. What a great moment for Brad Keselowski. And there is Roger Penske. He's made his way down for the celebration. He's been waiting a long time for this championship in NASCAR, and now he gets his first.
He's obviously put a lot into this sport of NASCAR racing, and finally getting a championship trophy to put on his mantle.
Brad is all the way over in turn number 2 right now, folks. I mean, he is taking a real long victory lap. And I guess when you work this many years, why not?
Yeah, enjoy it.
It shows you how much it means, to anybody to win a championship at this level. Is a really incredible accomplishment.
To me, we've talked about this early in the year, just how in getting all of this team put together.
Well, let's go talk to our race winner. How about it, Vince?
A lot of celebrating from Carl Edwards today. This was a very meaningful victory for this one, and a little extra cash as well. First time we've seen you do the backflip before, but that's the first time we've seen you up in the stands celebrating. What was that all about?
Well, I saw the gate open there, and I just want to go up there and be with the people. That's man, it's fun. These fans come out here and support us, and it felt good to stand up there. I'll never forget that. I'm gonna have to start doing that every time. But I got to say that today we're thinking about Mike Mittler and his family, and Sherry Herman and her family. They suffered some losses, and it's just a special day. It means a lot to win here for Copart. Copart.com. If you guys go to the website, they're revamping it and they're working on it. Be patient with them. They sell cars and buy cars. And Fastenal, Cessna Citation Service Centers for getting me here. And Aflac and Scott's and Subway and Kellogg's. Everybody. I've got the greatest sponsors, and our car ran perfectly today.
Kyle indicated he thought maybe you jumped the restart there at the end. What's your interpretation of how that went off?
Did you see my check for $75 grand? I don't know if you saw that. I had to do everything I could. Kyle and those guys have a spectacular car, and he does a really good job on restarts. So I just got the best restart I could, and it ended up winning us the race. And he was just, man, he's tough. He raced me really well on the one before that, but I knew if I gave him an inch, he'd beat us. So just proud of my guys. This is a really special win.
Congratulations. Carl Edwards. Doc?
Well, Brad Keselowski has pulled his Dodge over here in front of the Nationwide banner. And ladies and gentlemen, here he comes, the 2010 NASCAR Nationwide Series champion. Let's get over here. Hey, Brad, congratulations. Your mom was standing down there with me. She said, we have waited a lifetime for this moment. What does this mean to you?
It's, first off, it's a family accomplishment for my family. My mom and dad have gave me my break. My mom, dad, uncle, my whole family just made so many sacrifices along the way, and put up with me when I got in trouble, and did all those things that good parents do, and I'm lucky to have them. And from there, just great people. I mean, I've got great people I'm surrounded by. This whole team that Roger Penske's given me. I'm so very fortunate and blessed to have this opportunity with Paul Wolf, Roger, everybody back in the shop. The guys that are there, that missed their kids' Little League game, working hard on my cars to give me this awesome discount tire, Ruby Tuesday Dodges like we have here. Almost had a win here today. Wanted to win this one too, it didn't work out. But all these fans, your guys' support just keeps us going through the tough times, and appreciate all of you and the things that you guys do to support us, and even the guys that don't like it, we like you too.
Here's a guy that I think you want to give a hug to over here, coming in, first time in his career, 22 championships, but never a NASCAR title for the captain, Roger Penske, until today. How about that? One of the icons in motorsports finally gets his first NASCAR championship, and it happens here at Texas Motor Speedway.